Games had descended into reality, overturning the rules of the world and ushering humanity into an era of global job changes. Monsters ran rampant in countless dungeons and abysses, creating a world where terror and treasure coexisted. To stand at the pinnacle, one had to become a professional, leveling up to gain strength. On the day of his job change, Lin Moyu became a unique hidden class, the Necromancer. He obtained a god-level talent that enhanced all skills tenfold even at level 1, along with a passive skill that transferred all incoming damage to his summoned creatures. As long as his summons remained, he was immortal. With infinite god-level skeleton warriors, billions of lick mages, and undead bone dragons at his command, he would become the Calamity, sitting upon a throne of bones. The ceremony began in West Sea City. On the playground of No. 1 High School, professionals were finalizing a magic array while over 100 seniors waited. Principal Lu Yun addressed the crowd. "Students, after 3 years of study, today determines your future. I hope you can reach the heights of Holy Mage Su Kaingsing and become pillars of the human race." Su Kaingsing, a level 80 legend, was the school's pride. Lin Moyu watched the array with heavy anticipation. Having lived in this world for years, he understood its mechanics. Clearing dungeons and killing monsters earned experience to raise levels and master skills. While the success rate for job changes was now 100%, the quality of the class varied. Combat classes were the most sought after, followed by support and lifestyle classes, though Lin Moyu believed the power of a class depended entirely on the individual. As a beam of light signaled the array's completion, Principal Lu Yun led the students forward. Lin Moyu wondered what his fate would be. Beside him, Gao Yang patted his shoulder with a grin. "What do you want to change into?" "I want to be a knight. Look at my stature, I could protect the girls." Lin Moyu offered only a faint smile. He was a man of few words, which led many classmates to view him as cold or arrogant. Some whispered behind his back, calling him a mute and predicting he would only land a lifestyle class. Lin Moyu ignored them. There was no need to explain himself. At the array, Principal Lu Yun greeted the man in charge. "Array Master Zhang Qian, I'm troubling you today." Zhang Qian, a level 52 array master, nodded. "It's what I should do." The principal began calling names. First, Suda stepped into the rumbling light. The result appeared: lifestyle class farmer. His face went pale, though his friends tried to comfort him. Next was Zhang Li, who became a chef. He was satisfied, happy to follow in his father's footsteps. As more students were processed, most became lifestyle classes. Principal Lu Yun's expression soured. "This year's students are average," Zhang Qian remarked. "Yes," Lu Yun sighed. "There hasn't been a rare class yet." "A rare class?" Zhang Qian sneered. "It would be good enough just to produce a high-level combat class." "Zia Zhu." The principal called. Zia Zhu glanced at Lin Moyu with a taunting look. Though they were both considered geniuses, Lin Moyu's grades had always kept her in second place. She intended to prove who the real talent was. She walked into the array like a proud swan. Zhang Qian opened his eyes, intrigued. "This girl is not bad. Her mental power is twice that of an ordinary person. She might be a mage." Lu Yun perked up. Mages were high-level combat classes. As the magic array activated, 2 massive fireballs erupted from the light like fireworks. "A phenomenon," Lu Yun shouted. "A rare class." The announcement confirmed it. Combat-type rare class, elemental mage. The playground erupted in whispers of awe. An elemental mage was powerful enough to wipe out a city with forbidden spells at higher levels. Zia Zhu stepped down, basking in the praise of Zhang Qian and her surrounding classmates. Combat and support classes were graded from low to legendary, and rare classes were exceptionally scarce. Rare classes were relatively common in a place like West Sea City, appearing once or twice a year. Zia Zhu and Su Kaingsing were already confirmed as combat-type rare classes, but now it was time for the school's top academic performer to step forward: Lin Moyu. Hearing his name, Lin Moyu walked toward the magic array. Zia Zhu watched him, her eyes filled with a sense of challenge. "Master Zhang, what do you think of this child?" Principal Lu Yun asked. Array Master Zhang Qian glanced at the boy. "Other than being unusually calm, there is nothing special about him. Our school has 2 geniuses," Lu Yun countered. "Zia Zhu is second and he is first." Zhang Qian remained indifferent. "Academic performance has no necessary connection to job advancement. You should understand this principle." Lu Yun understood, but he still held onto a glimmer of hope for another rare class. As the magic array activated, the sky suddenly darkened. Dark clouds pressed down overhead and gusts of freezing wind swept through the courtyard. The temperature dropped sharply, turning day into an apocalyptic night. What is going on? Lu Yun asked in surprise, a phenomenon. Zhang Kaiyan stared at the array. It was a job advancement phenomenon of a scale he had never seen. Xia Zhu clenched her fists. This phenomenon was much larger than her own. Impossible, I won't lose to you, she whispered, though the sheer scale of the event forced her to concede. Look, there's movement in the clouds, a classmate shouted. Points of firelight rose within the dark clouds, accompanied by a bone-grinding clack-clack sound. A sharp-eyed student fell backward in terror. It's skeletons, they're all skeletons. Thousands of skeletons packed the sky, their skulls glowing with ghastly soul fire. One flame descended, landing on Lin Moyu. Instantly, the darkness vanished and the world returned to normal. Unique hidden class, Necromancer. It was not merely a rare class, but a unique hidden class, the only one of its kind in the world. The students erupted in whispers, some envious and others skeptical, noting that his reticent personality suited a life spent dealing with the dead. Lin Moyu stepped down, hiding his internal excitement behind a mask of calm. As he passed Zhang Kaiyan, the array master stopped him. Your class is a hidden class I haven't seen before, Zhang Kaiyan said. Could you demonstrate a skill? Please wait a moment, Senior, Lin Moyu replied politely. He checked his attributes, noting his high spirit and his two initial skills, Soul Fire and Summon Skeleton Warrior. He chose the latter. A black vortex opened and a gray, tattered skeleton warrior stepped out. It looked like it had been pulled from a scrap heap, its bones cracked and its blade rusted. Lin Moyu noted its balanced attributes, which were slightly higher than a normal level 1 human. Zhang Kaiyan flicked a breeze of energy at the creature to test it. The skeleton's eyes flashed red and Lin Moyu received a mental prompt. The summon was ready to counterattack. He quickly ordered it to stand down. High alertness, Zhang Kaiyan smiled. He checked the creature with a high-level detection spell, ordinary attributes, but perhaps it will grow. Work hard. Lin Moyu bowed and walked back, the skeleton clacking behind him. Most students recoiled, but Gao Yang approached curiously. Can I touch it? Gao Yang asked. He reached out, finding the bones cold and hard as steel. Is it strong? Probably stronger than you, Lin Moyu replied. I don't believe it. It looks tattered, Gao Yang joked. When Principal Lu Yun called Gao Yang's name for his turn, Lin Moyu recalled the skeleton into his summoning space. He realized that while the creature looked weak now, the vision he had seen during his awakening, thousands of skeletons slaughtering a giant dragon, proved its true potential. The class change magic circle burst into brilliant light once more as Gao Yang finished his transition. Advanced combat profession, sword and shield knight. It was exactly what Gao Yang had hoped for. Though he was a knight, the advanced prefix marked an essential difference in power. Otherwise, it wouldn't be qualified to be called advanced, Lin Moyu thought. Gao Yang ran back excitedly. How about that? I told you I could be a knight. Lin Moyu rarely showed a smile, but he gave Gao Yang a thumbs up. Gao Yang laughed and patted Lin Moyu on the shoulder. We will go to the dungeon together in the future, and I will stand in front of you. How does that saying go? If you want to kill me, you have to step over your corpse. Lin Moyu was speechless. He really couldn't stand this guy. You said it backwards, he finally spoke. You finally decided to speak, Gao Yang said in surprise. I said it backwards on purpose, didn't you realize? Lin Moyu gave Gao Yang a look of disdain. He knew Gao Yang was just refusing to admit his mistake. Once everyone finished their class change, Principal Lu Yun led the 106 students from first middle school back to the large classroom. Out of the group, 12 had changed to combat classes, 18 to support, and the rest to life-related classes. Lin Moyu was the only one with a hidden profession. Students, the class change is over, Principal Lu Yun announced, satisfied with the results. No matter what profession you have, you must work hard to level up. Starting tomorrow, the novice leveling dungeon in West Sea City will be open for practical combat. Life-related professions will have a dedicated hall to master their skills. I hope you all achieve good results in the big exam a week from now. The novice dungeon contained monsters between levels 1 and 8. It was much safer than the wild areas outside the city, though students were free to choose their own path. When school ended, Xia Zhu stopped Lin Moyu. Gao Yang laughed. Miss Zia, why, do you like our Moyu? Zia Zhu frowned. Get lost. Yes, ma'am. Gao Yang retreated decisively. Zia Zhu stood at 1 meter 7 with a graceful figure and an exquisite face. Even as the school beauty, she had to look up at the 185 cm Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu, I want to compete with you, she stated. Lin Moyu looked at her, confused. I will compete with you to see who gets better results in the big exam. Do you dare? Oh, Lin Moyu said simply, walking around her. Zia Zhu stomped her feet. It's settled then, I won't lose to you forever. She had hoped her rare profession would surpass him, but his hidden profession had proven otherwise. Lin Moyu returned to his empty house and prepared a simple meal. He looked at a conspicuous photo of himself, a young woman and an elderly woman. In the picture, taken 3 years ago, he was smiling, a stark contrast to his current cold demeanor. Having transmigrated into this world, he cherished the memories of the family he had lost. His grandmother had passed away 2 years ago, and his sister, Lin Mohan, had left for Xiajing Academy a year prior. I will also go to Xiajing Academy, Lin Moyu vowed. He knew it was the only way to reunite with his sister. A knock sounded at the door. Principal Lu Yun stood there with a package of food. Moyu, take this. I'll bring more in a few days. Thank you, Lin Moyu replied. You are entering the dungeon tomorrow. Get some good rest, Lu Yun said. He had promised Lin Mohan he would look after her brother, a promise that had kept her from staying behind. That night, Lin Moyu studied his skills. As his mental strength recovered, he looked at the bright red gemstone in his palm, the only item he brought from his past life. As he prepared to summon, a voice rang in his mind. Host detected awakening the Necromancer class. Class requirements met, strongest talent system is binding. Starting to extract world origin, optimizing skills. Lin Moyu felt a jolt as his attributes updated. He had gained a unique god-level talent, comprehensive amplification, which increased all skill effects by 10 times. He also gained a passive skill, damage transfer, which allowed all damage he received to be borne by his summoned creatures. So it was you, he whispered, looking at the now-vanished gemstone. He activated his skill, summoning a black iron-grade skeleton warrior. Though it looked like a pile of junk, its attributes, strength, agility, spirit, and physique had all been amplified to 150 points. He summoned more skeletons and began to meditate to recover his spirit. By morning, 4 amplified skeleton warriors stood guard in his room. A bus dropped the students off at the crowded dungeon entrance. Nearly 200 combat-ready students from various high schools had gathered. As the teachers handled the entry procedures, a voice called out to Lu Yun. Old Lu, you've really hit the jackpot this time. Having one rare combat class wasn't enough, now you've got a unique hidden class too. You've really struck it rich, one principal remarked to another. The air was thick with anticipation as the school leaders discussed their top prospects. Principal Lu Yun beamed with pride. Zia Zhu and Lin Moyu are truly excellent. I hope they can get admitted into Xiajing Academy. Zia Zhu, the eldest daughter of the Zia family, another asked. And this Lin Moyu, is he related to Lin Mohan? Zia Zhu is indeed from the Zia family and Lin Moyu is Lin Mohan's younger brother, Lu Yun confirmed. The surrounding principals nodded, noting that the siblings were a formidable pair. Nearby, Gao Yang nudged Lin Moyu, want to form a party together. When Lin Moyu shook his head, Gao Yang feigned anger. You brat, are you looking down on me? This young master is inviting you with all sincerity. Despite his words, a smile played in his eyes. Lin Moyu ignored the theatrics. Seconds later, Gao Yang's tone shifted. Boss, why exactly won't you team up with me? Leveling in a party is slow, solo grinding is fast, Lin Moyu replied indifferently. How do you know that? Gao Yang asked. Read more books, Lin Moyu said. Zia Zhu interjected, backing Lin Moyu up. He's right. In a 2-person party, experience points are split. While killing is faster, the overall efficiency decreases because the time spent searching for monsters is fixed. Predecessors say dungeons below level 10 are best for soloing. Principal Lu Yun walked over to the group to give final instructions. Except for Zia Zhu and Lin Moyu, all combat classes must bring support professionals into the dungeon. Don't think about soloing. In high-difficulty dungeons later on, you won't survive without support. It's better to build camaraderie with your classmates now. When a student asked why Zia Zhu and Lin Moyu were exempt, Lu Yun explained that Zia Zhu needed to level rapidly for the Xiajing Academy entrance exam and would leave the beginner dungeon within 2 days. As for Lin Moyu, I don't understand his class. You can ask the support students if they are willing to join him. The support students, mostly girls, looked at Lin Moyu's macabre skeleton warrior and shook their heads in fear. Principal Lu Yun, I also intend to take the exam for Xiajing Academy, Lin Moyu stated, making his intention to solo clear. Lu Yun looked surprised. Do you know how hard that is? You need to be at least level 12, ideally 15. Your sister made it at level 16, but reaching that in 1 week is incredibly difficult. The highest monsters here are only level 8. I have confidence, Lin Moyu insisted. Under the principal's direction, the students finalized their teams. Gao Yang paired with a prophet. The school then distributed basic equipment. Gao Yang received an iron sword and shield, posing heroically. Lin Moyu was handed a basic staff that provided a meager +1 to spirit. Zia Zhu declined the school's gear, clutching her own high-quality grimoire. Before entering the portal, Zia Zhu looked at Lin Moyu. Let's compete and see who levels up faster. Lin Moyu didn't answer, but Zia Zhu took his silence as a challenge. I'll take that as a yes, she said, disappearing into the dungeon. So competitive, Lin Moyu muttered, following her in. The monster density was low, meaning more time was spent hunting than fighting. Lin Moyu immediately released 4 skeleton warriors. Go find monsters and kill them, he commanded. The skeletons blurred into motion, their agility far exceeding normal limits. Within moments, notifications began to flood Lin Moyu's mind. A level 1 begeared rabbit was instantly slain, granting him 1% of his experience bar. As the 4 skeletons fanned out, his experience climbed to 10% in mere minutes. Realizing he would finish much faster than the predicted 2 days, Lin Moyu summoned a 5th skeleton and sat down to meditate. Half an hour later, a golden light signaled his first level up. His attributes increased and his summoning space expanded to accommodate 20 minions. He noticed that his level 2 summon skeleton skill now cost more spirit, but the resulting skeletons were sturdier, their gray bones turning a brighter, polished white. Thanks to his comprehensive amplification talent, their attributes were massive, 250 points across the board, making them as strong as level 10 warriors. Lin Moyu continued summoning until 7 skeleton warriors were prowling the fields. They moved like elite assassins, slaughtering everything in their path. The notifications flashed in Lin Moyu's vision. Level 2 gray-furred cat killed, level 3 brown dog killed, level 4 blue-eyed rat king killed. It was instant kills all the way. Facing his skeleton warriors, which possessed the attack power of at least a level 10 combatant, these low-level monsters died without suspense or pain. Lin Moyu followed the trail of his summons, walking slowly. As the skeleton warriors fanned out, a topographical map of the secret realm gradually formed in his mind. Oh, it has a function like this, he mused. The skeletons had become fully automatic mappers. Within an hour, his experience bar was nearly full again. He decided to forego meditation. At this speed, his spirit would simply restore to full upon his next level up. The skeletons were ruthless, but Lin Moyu noticed a level 2 gray-furred cat crouching in the grass that they had missed. Quite a lucky fellow, he thought. A green flame ignited in his palm, soul fire. The flame teleported onto the cat instantly. It let out a miserable scream and fell dead. Despite the kill, the body showed no burns. Lin Moyu realized that as a soul-based attack, the skill ignored all physical and elemental defenses. Hidden classes are indeed powerful, he noted. Even without the talent bonus, a Necromancer wouldn't be weaker than a legendary class. A pillar of light erupted from his body as he leveled up. His attributes increased and his skeleton warrior skill rose to level 3. After his talent amplification, his 4-dimensional attributes reached a staggering 350 points. He summoned 3 more skeletons, bringing his total to 10. They rampaged through the dungeon like a sweeping force, one-shotting level 5 blue wolves. At this rate, he would level up again in 2 hours. Outside the dungeon, several principals sat around a table, brewing tea and discussing the students' progress. I wonder what level the kids can reach on the first day, one remarked. The record is level 5, another replied. Both Holy Mage Su Kaingsing and Lin Mohan reached it. This year's Zia Zhu has a rare class, so she should be similar. If she doesn't hit level 5 today, getting into Xiajing Academy will be difficult. Principal Lu Yun listened quietly, wondering how Lin Moyu was faring. He knew the first day was a strict 12-hour window before students were automatically ejected. Suddenly, a powerful aura swept over the area. Clan leader Xia, come and sit, Lu Yun called out as Xia Dingyang, the head of the Xia family and Xia Zhu's father, approached. Hello, principals, Xia Dingyang said, taking a seat. I assume you're here for Xia Zhu, Lu Yun asked, pouring him tea. Xiao Zhu has relied on your care, Principal Lu, Xia Dingyang replied. I only returned to West Sea City today and missed the awakening. The conversation turned to Xia Zhu's prospects. Xia Dingyang suggested he could pull strings if she fell short of level 5, but Lu Yun shook his head. I wouldn't, she'd hate you for it. Changing the subject, Xia Dingyang asked, I heard your school produced a hidden profession yesterday. What is it? A necromancer, Lu Yun beamed. It can summon skeleton warriors. I don't know if it's powerful yet. Summoning skeletons? Xia Dingyang looked uneasy. That sounds a bit eerie. Don't worry, Lu Yun reassured him. Lin Moyu is a good kid. His sister, Lin Mohan, is already at Xiajing Academy. If Xia Zhu gets in, Mohan might even look out for her. Deep inside the dungeon, Lin Moyu received a mental notification. The maximum distance of 500 meters had been reached. His skeletons had stopped advancing. Realizing he couldn't be a hands-off manager anymore, he moved deeper into the woods. His 10 skeletons formed a fan shape, clearing everything within 100 meters of him. By the 4th hour, he leveled up for the 3rd time. Now level 4, Lin Moyu summoned more skeletons, bringing his total to 13. He officially entered the latter half of the newbie dungeon, where level 5 and 6 monsters were common. To his skeletons, which now boasted a strength attribute of 450, these enemies were still one-hit kills. At this rate, I'll level up again in less than an hour, Lin Moyu calculated. I might reach level 8 within the first 12 hours. Level 8 was the requirement to leave the city and hunt in the wild. Despite his ease, he remained vigilant, remembering his sister's warning that even a lion uses its full strength to hunt a rabbit. He watched his data closely. He was at 99% experience. Lin Moyu checked his data, level 4, 99%. He was on the verge of leveling up again. Around him, 13 skeleton warriors were slaughtering everything in sight. This level had only taken 50 minutes, faster than the last. The number of skeleton warriors has increased and the monster density is higher, Lin Moyu analyzed. That's why the speed is increasing. He had reached the depths of the newbie dungeon, where level 6 and 7 monsters were common. The skeleton warriors acted as tireless thugs, reaping lives with single strikes. The only downside was that these monsters dropped no loot, as the dungeon was designed solely for training. Only the level 8 monsters remained unweakened, serving as a bridge to the dangers of the wild. A pillar of light erupted around him as Lin Moyu reached level 5. His attributes surged and his skeleton warriors grew stronger, their own attributes increasing by another 100 points. Leveling has slowed down, Lin Moyu noted. At level 4, a level 7 brown bear provided 0.2% experience, now it only gave 0.1%. He would need to kill 1,000 bears to level up again. He thought of his sister, Lin Mohan, who had reached level 16 in a single week last year. To even qualify for Xiajing Academy, he needed to hit level 12. Lin Moyu cast his skill, exhausting his spirit points to summon 3 more skeletons, bringing his total to 16. He pushed forward his undead henchmen, clearing the path through the tall grass. The terrain finally shifted. A forest loomed ahead, marking the end of the newbie dungeon. Lin Moyu checked the time, 6 hours and 42 minutes since he entered. He was certain no one else, not even the talented Xia Zhu, had reached this far yet. He walked into the woods, eager to test his strength against unweakened level 8 monsters. His skeletons ran ahead, their bones clicking, but they found nothing. As soon as Lin Moyu stepped under the canopy, a tree branch whipped toward him with lightning speed. It struck him hard, but he felt nothing. An invisible barrier protected him. His passive skill, Damage Transfer, had automatically moved the impact to his summons. Lin Moyu used his detection spell on the attacker. Longwhip Tree, level 8, he read. The tree had ignored the skeletons because they lacked a life aura, but it had sensed him. He retreated out of its range, observing how the tree returned to a defensive stance. He realized the dungeon's design was intentional. These stationary monsters allowed novices to experience wild strength combat without the risk of being hunted down. Lin Moyu signaled his army. 16 skeleton warriors surrounded him before one rushed the tree. The long whip tree lashed out, its branches clashing against the skeleton's bones with a metallic ring. The skeleton's high constitution allowed it to weather the storm, its bones cracking slightly before regenerating. The skeleton swung its blade. 1 slash, 2, 3, on the 4th hit, the tree went still. It wasn't a one-hit kill, Lin Moyu muttered. While the experience was higher than the bears, the effort per kill had increased. However, the forest was packed with these trees. There was no need to search for targets anymore. He sent his 16 warriors into the woods. The forest echoed with the sound of blades meeting wood. Despite the higher requirements of level 5, the sheer density of targets allowed him to reach level 6 in only 50 minutes. Outside, the sky turned dark. It was 7 p.m., 10 hours since the students had entered. Principal Lu Yun, several other school heads, and clan leader Xia Dingyang remained at their posts, drinking tea and watching the portal as they did every year. Although accidents were rare, the reality of combat meant injuries and even death were possible in the novice dungeon. Clan leader Xia Dingyang waited anxiously near the entrance. Having missed his daughter's class advancement, he refused to miss her first dungeon run. Suddenly, the entrance emitted a brilliant light, drawing everyone's attention. It was too early for the trial to be over. Lin Moyu walked out of the radiance with a calm demeanor. Principal Lu Yun rushed toward him, asking why he had emerged so soon. "I killed them all, so I came out," Lin Moyu replied softly. The principal was stunned by the boy's indifference, but his shock deepened when he saw Lin Moyu's status, level 7. The previous record was only level 5, and Lin Moyu had shattered it in just 10 hours. There weren't enough monsters inside, Lin Moyu added as if it were a mundane fact. "Otherwise, I should have reached level 8. Principal Lu, I want to apply to go to the outskirts of West Sea City." No one had ever cleared the entire novice dungeon within the 12-hour limit. The level 8 monsters in the depths were formidable, yet a novice professional with no experience had wiped them out. Principal Lu remained numb with shock until Lin Moyu waved a hand in front of his face. Snapping back to reality, the principal agreed to issue the city exit permit immediately, telling the boy to rest while the others finished. Returning to the other officials, Lu Yun downed several cups of tea to steady his nerves. That was Lin Moyu, he told the curious group. He cleared the dungeon and killed every single level 8 monster. The news sent a ripple of disbelief through the group. Xia Dingyang lamented that hidden classes were truly formidable, noting that Lin Moyu's leveling speed was heaven-defying. They debated whether the Necromancer class would remain this dominant at higher levels, comparing it to Xia Zhu's Elemental Mage class, which required specific passive skills to reach its full potential. Nearby, Lin Moyu meditated to recover his mental strength. His army of skeleton warriors had grown to 24, though he still had plenty of room in his summoning space. At 9:00 p.m., the remaining students were teleported out. Many were exhausted and blood-stained, though their faces shone with the excitement of their first real combat. Teachers moved through the crowd, dispersing the scent of blood with skills and checking for injuries. Most students had reached level 3 or 4. Xia Zhu emerged feeling triumphant. She had reached level 5, tying the historical record. "I definitely won't lose this time," she whispered to herself. Her eyes searched for Lin Moyu, finding him meditating in the distance. Her pride vanished instantly when she perceived his level. She froze, her body going numb with shock. "How is it possible? How did he reach level 7, little Zhu?" Her father's voice called out, pulling her back to reality. Xia Dingyang had arrived with a car to take her home. As they drove away, Xia Zhu couldn't stop looking back at Lin Moyu. "Are you competing with him?" her father asked. "I lost again," she admitted, sounding like a deflated balloon. "This guy is too annoying." When her father offered to intervene, she refused decisively, her fighting spirit reigniting. However, her confidence wavered again when Xia Dingyang revealed that Lin Moyu had cleared the level 8 area and finished 2 hours early. He comforted her by pointing out her advantage in family resources and equipment, which Lin Moyu lacked. On the school bus, Gao Yang slid into the seat next to Lin Moyu. "I'm already level 4, impressive, right?" he bragged, recounting his experience grinding with a teammate. Lin Moyu simply looked at him, prompting Gao Yang to finally notice his friend's status. "Holy crap, you're level 7, how did you train? Did you clear out all the monsters in the dungeon? I worked my butt off just to reach level 4. How did you get to level 7? Are you an immortal? Gao Yang's voice was exceptionally loud, drawing the attention of everyone on the bus. The students finally noticed that Lin Moyu had reached level 7, while most were still level 3. The bus became lively as the initial fear of Lin Moyu's skeleton warriors was replaced by a desire to be close to the strong. Some considered building rapport, but Lin Moyu's silent manner and the lingering terror of his summons made them hesitate. Quiet, Principal Lu Yun barked, instantly silencing the noise. Gao Yang rubbed his head sheepishly. I got too excited. Boss, can you take me along to level up? If there's a chance I can, Lin Moyu replied. Gao Yang was overjoyed. Then it's a deal. The next morning, Gao Yang searched the school gate in vain. Principal Lu, why didn't Lin Moyu come? He went to the outskirts of West Sea City, Lu Yun answered. Gao Yang realized he had been played. Lin Moyu, you've set me up. I offered my heart to the moon, yet the moon shines on the ditch. I'm not done with you, I want a duel. Lin Moyu arrived at the southern side of West Sea City, where a tall wall separated the human living area from the monster zone. Before heading out, he visited the Shangxia Empire Exchange. The hall was filled with stone pillars embedded with magic crystals, the pinnacle of god-level alchemy. Lin Moyu placed his hand on a crystal. A prompt appeared, beginning identity authentication. Authentication successful. Citizen of the Shangxia Empire, Lin Moyu. Permission to use the Shangxia Empire Exchange granted. Contribution points 0. Authority, level 1. He browsed the items for sale, weapons, armor, and jewelry, but everything was far beyond his 100 gold coins. He turned his attention to the quest board. Most were material collection tasks for lifestyle professionals like alchemists and blacksmiths. One quest caught his eye: clear the level 14 West Sea Mine dungeon, obtain the Goblin King's crystal core from nightmare difficulty or higher. The reward was 100,000 gold coins, but as a level 7, he couldn't enter the level 10 minimum dungeon yet. Lin Moyu presented his exit permit to the gate guard. Lin Moyu, level 7, Necromancer. The guard was puzzled that the school allowed a level 7 to leave when the monsters outside started at level 10. However, the permit was valid. Your exit permit is now active. There are many monsters outside. Stay safe. If you can't handle it, run back. Your life is more important than face. Watch out for night ambushes. Thank you, I will be careful, Lin Moyu said with a slight bow. He stepped through the gate. The air turned cold and oppressive, filled with the scent of bloodlust. The world outside was shrouded in mist. With a thought, Lin Moyu summoned a skeleton warrior. He now had 28 in his summoning space after a night of meditation. Go, kill that monster in front, he commanded. He cast a detection spell on a nearby creature. It was a level 10 goblin scout with 120 strength and constitution. Though it was tough, it was no match for the skeleton warrior's 750-point attributes. The goblin struck the skeleton with a spiked club, but the summon barely flinched. After 5 slashes from the skeleton's blade, the goblin collapsed. Killed level 10 goblin scout, EXP plus 300. Obtained goblin bone. Lin Moyu released all 28 skeleton warriors. They dispersed into the wilderness, and his experience notifications began to flood in rapidly. At this rate, he would reach level 8 in less than an hour. The skeleton warriors moving forward in a scattered formation also attracted the attention of some professionals. When they first saw the skeleton warriors, they thought they were some kind of monster. Only after using detection spell did they realize these were summoned creatures. But these summoned creatures were too strong. Killing a level 10 monster was as easy as chopping melons and vegetables. To avoid those trying to track him through his summons, Lin Moyu remotely recalled his skeleton warrior and slipped into the dense forest. While most avoided the complex terrain and monster ambushes of the woods, the terrain posed no obstacle to Lin Moyu. As his skeletons dispersed, a mental topographic map formed in his mind, revealing every blade of grass. An hour later, a pillar of light signaled his ascent to level 8. Unlike mages who depleted their mental energy or knights who succumbed to exhaustion, Lin Moyu's skeletons required no rest. They were tireless engines of slaughter. No monsters left, he noted, looking at the cleared grove. He pushed deeper into the woods, moving further from West Sea City. Level 11, 12, and 13 monsters fell with ease. The skeleton's superior constitution meant they could endure any blow while hacking their enemies apart. By the afternoon, Lin Moyu reached level 9, his experience hovering at 99%. His army had grown to 40 skeletons. He contemplated the future of his skills. I can learn new skills at level 10, but I don't have a skill scroll, he mused. As a unique hidden class, he had no mentors or books to rely on. He would eventually need to spend 100,000 gold coins at the exchange for a random skill scroll, a risky and expensive endeavor. Suddenly, the light of leveling up washed over him again. Lin Moyu checked his status. At level 10, his strength and agility had seen steady gains, but his spirit had surged to 300 points. More importantly, his comprehensive amplification talent had evolved to level 2, now increasing all skill effects by 20 times. His summons had transformed from black iron to bronze-grade skeleton warriors. He summoned one to inspect it. The gray, cracked bone had been replaced by a smooth, greenish-white surface, and the blade in its hand gleamed with new sharpness. Its attributes were staggering, each reaching 3,000 points. It even possessed a new skill, Berserk Strike. Lin Moyu realized that with these stats and his damage transfer passive, he could likely dominate anyone below level 20. His thoughts were interrupted by the sharp whistle of an arrow. It streaked past his face, followed by several more. One struck him directly, but an invisible membrane flickered and the damage was instantly transferred to a nearby skeleton. Under attack, the system notified him. His skeleton's eyes flared red. A woman in black sprinted from the brush, her high agility marking her as an assassin. She glanced at Lin Moyu before pivoting and vanishing into the trees. Moments later, an archer and a mage burst into the clearing in pursuit. They initially ran the wrong way before doubling back, frustrated. The mage cast a wind spell to scout, then sighed, "That guy is very cunning, they have already escaped." The archer turned his attention to Lin Moyu. "Little guy, did a man in black pass by here just now? Your arrow hit me." "Apologize," Lin Moyu replied coldly. The archer looked at the arrow on the ground and offered a curt apology. Lin Moyu warned him not to let it happen again, his gaze so intense the archer felt as though he were being looked down upon by a superior. The mage, disgusted by the sight of the undead, began to raise his staff. Lin Moyu's skeletons tensed, ready to tear the pair apart, but the archer grabbed the mage's arm. "Don't cause trouble," he whispered. The two eventually left. "Consider yourselves lucky," Lin Moyu muttered. Had they attacked, he would have surrounded and slaughtered them instantly. Lin Moyu resumed his grind. His 44 bronze-grade skeleton warriors tore through level 10 and 11 goblins with single strikes. Despite the efficiency, the experience requirements for level 11 had tripled. He estimated he would need to kill 5,000 goblins to level up again. As night fell, Lin Moyu started a campfire and ate the rations he'd brought from home. He watched the flames, calculating his progress. "At the current leveling speed, I can probably reach level 13 tomorrow. I'm not sure if I can reach level 15 the day after tomorrow. After level 15, the leveling speed will further decrease, and I still need to leave a day to rush back. By this calculation, I can reach at most level 16. How did my sister level up back then?" Lin Moyu wondered. Although Lin Mohan was a legendary grade sword-edged dancer, her speed shouldn't have exceeded his own. He searched his memories of her past actions, suddenly realizing she must have teamed up for a nightmare-grade run of the West Sea Mine dungeon. That would explain the massive experience gain and the injuries she had sustained. "I'll go check it out tomorrow," he decided. As the night deepened, his skeleton warriors cleared every monster within 500 meters. Lin Moyu began to meditate, feeling secure behind his 44 guardians. The forest was eerie, filled with howling wolves and rustling leaves, made colder by the presence of the undead. Suddenly, a skeleton warrior issued a warning. Someone was approaching. Lin Moyu remained alert as a figure emerged from the darkness. It was the fleeing person in black he had seen earlier that afternoon. "Do you have anything to eat?" she asked. Her voice was pleasant, her eyes bright in the firelight. Lin Moyu handed her a sweet potato and some water. She removed her mask, revealing a delicate, youthful face, and ate hungrily. She choked briefly while trying to talk and eat at once, but after a few gulps of water, she caught her breath. "Thank you," she said. Lin Moyu nodded silently. After a quiet interval, she asked, "What is your name?" When he didn't immediately respond, she giggled. "You don't like talking. Well, how about this? We use the detection spell on each other." Lin Moyu agreed, but when he cast the spell, it failed. He didn't get anything right. She teased, so your name is Lin Moyu, level 10, and your class is a Necromancer? I've never heard of that. I saw your skeleton earlier. Is that your summon? Why? Lin Moyu asked calmly, so you really can talk, she laughed. She showed him a shielding badge, explaining it blocked detection from anyone within 10 levels of her. She tucked it away and let him try again. The spell revealed her identity, Ning Yi, a level 19 shadow assassin. Suddenly, the wind shifted and Ning Yi's smile vanished. Lin Moyu's skeletons had sensed newcomers. The archer and mage from earlier had returned, joined now by a knight. It's just an intermediate skill scroll, Ning Yi hissed, frustrated. They've been chasing me for days. She turned to Lin Moyu. I'm leaving. I'll find you again if there's a chance. Before she could move, a marking arrow exploded nearby, bathing them both in a magical glow that prevented stealth. The mage stepped from the trees, sneering. I knew you two were together, an assassin and a dark summoner, a perfect match. He has nothing to do with this, Ning Yi countered, drawing a green dagger. I'll give you the scroll and we can go our separate ways. Dead people are safer, the mage replied coldly. No one will know we have the scroll. Ning Yi whispered to Lin Moyu, I'll hold them off, you run. And you? Lin Moyu asked. He knew she was lying about her ability to escape while marked. Stop wasting time, the archer called out. The mage cast an illumination spell, flooding the area with light to further suppress Ning Yi's skills. As the three enemies prepared their assault, Lin Moyu raised a finger, summoning a skeleton warrior. A waste of effort, the mage shouted, launching a massive great fireball. Quick dodge, Ning Yi cried, grabbing Lin Moyu, but the mage's mental entanglement slowed her movements. The archer fired a triple shot, and the knight initiated a high-speed charge. It's over, Ning Yi paled, shoving Lin Moyu away to save him. In that instant, two more skeleton warriors appeared, flanking her. The three undead guardians formed an unbreakable wall. The fireball exploded against them in a roar of flames, and the triple shot clattered harmlessly off their bones. When the knight slammed into the line, the skeletons didn't budge. Instead, the knight was sent flying backward. From the flames, the skeleton warriors slowly walked out, their bodies emitting a cyan-white light, looking completely unharmed. How is this possible? The mage shouted, unable to believe his eyes. He had checked earlier. Lin Moyu was only a level 10 necromancer. Since a summons level cannot exceed its master S, these skeletons had to be level 10. With his own level 21 strength, he shouldn't have failed to kill them instantly. The archer and knight stood stunned. One after another, accompanied by teeth-gritting grinding sounds, more skeletons appeared. A total of 44 skeleton warriors surrounded the three of them tightly. Ning Yi was just as shocked as the attackers. She stared with wide eyes and a small open mouth, looking truly cute in her disbelief. She had seen Lin Moyu's skeletons earlier that day. They had looked fragile, dilapidated, and covered in cracks. How could they be this strong? The mage's level 20 skill hadn't even scratched them, and the archer's triple shot and knight's charge had done 0 damage. Lin Moyu didn't say much. He walked back to Ning Yi's side, his eyes filled with killing intent. Kill, with a thought the skeleton warriors initiated. The mage's face changed drastically as he shook his staff, manifesting his signature energy shield. Because of his low agility, he had no room to dodge within the encirclement. The skeletons raised their blades and struck, causing the barrier to distort violently. A single strike nearly shattered it. Before he could process their terrifying attack power, a second blade fell. The barrier dissipated into 10,000 specks of starlight. Repulsion ring, the mage screamed. A ring of fire erupted, pushing the skeletons back 10 meters. But his relief lasted only a second. Two skeletons leaped over his head, and a flash of a blade swept past. The mage's head flew into the sky. In less than 2 seconds, he was dead. The archer was in a wretched state, pursued by skeletons with 3,000 points of agility. Despite his dodge skills, the space available to maneuver shrank until he was cornered. The knight fared better, glowing like a light bulb as he activated ultimate defense. This core skill allowed him to withstand attacks far above his level. He activated charge, attempting to flee as the skeleton's blades bounced off his protective light. Its ultimate defense, Lin Moyu noted, recalling that the skill could allow a level 20 knight to survive a hit from a level 40 mage. The knight ran frantically, but a scream from behind told him the archer had fallen. Terrified, he regretted coming here for an intermediate skill scroll. Use skills. Block him, don't let him escape, Lin Moyu commanded. He would not be soft-hearted. Red light emerged from the skeleton's blades as they triggered Berserk Strike, doubling their already massive damage. The knight was horrified to see summons using skills. The red-tinged blades slammed into him, dimming his white light. Though ultimate defense usually lasted a minute, the intensity of the assault caused the duration to collapse. Seconds later, the knight was torn to pieces. "They're all dead?" Ningyi asked, still processing the fact that the entire battle had lasted only 20 seconds. Lin Moyu hadn't even moved. Lin Moyu nodded. The skeletons returned, carrying the loot dropped from the professional storage spaces: a bronze-grade Carmen staff, a warbow, a sword, and a shield. "These are all weapons from the Carmen Orc Legion dungeon," Ningyi explained, seeing Lin Moyu's confusion. "It's a level 20 dungeon outside Shanghai City." Lin Moyu collected the equipment and various materials like wolf skins and beast bones. Finally, he picked up a primary skill scroll. "You probably haven't used one before, right?" Ningyi asked. "You can use it. It's only worth about 100,000 gold coins, so don't bother selling it." Lin Moyu looked at the scroll. "How do I use it?" Ningyi giggled. "It's simple, just hold it and say 'use' loudly." Lin Moyu stared at her, unimpressed by the prank. He ignored her instructions and activated the scroll with his mental power. The scroll erupted in light, much to Ningyi's disappointment. "You figured it out," she sighed, having failed to tease him. The light enveloped Lin Moyu as a notification appeared. He had obtained the level 1 skill, Corpse Explosion. It allowed him to detonate a corpse to deal damage equal to 10% of the corpse's health within a 1-meter radius. While the range seemed small, Lin Moyu understood the potential. To a necromancer, a corpse still possessed the life of its flesh, bones, and soul. Lin Moyu contemplated the mechanics of his new skill. Even in death, a corpse held immense potential energy. This was an area of effect ability. If he faced thousands of enemies, he wouldn't need to rely on his skeleton warriors to hack them down one by one. As long as a single enemy fell, he could trigger Corpse Explosion. The blast would kill more enemies, creating more corpses, allowing for a chain reaction that would only stop when his mental strength was depleted. With his talent, the skill's range had expanded to 20 meters and the damage output reached 200%. It was another god-tier skill. As the light from the skill scroll faded, Ningyi blinked her large eyes with anticipation. "How is it? Did you learn a new skill?" "I learned it," Lin Moyu replied. He didn't hold her earlier teasing against her. She was simply playful and he wasn't petty. Ningyi laughed happily. "Your voice is so nice. Why don't you like to talk?" "It's such a pity." Lin Moyu looked at her, noting how different she was from the girls at his school. She was incredibly lively. "Your voice is also very nice," he complimented. He wasn't unwilling to speak, he just disliked nonsense. "Thanks for the compliment. I know my voice is nice," Ningyi giggled. "Since you saved me and complimented me, I'll give you this." She shoved a box into his hand containing an intermediate skill scroll. Such an item could awaken skills between level 40 and 70 and was worth 10 million gold coins, 100 times the price of a primary scroll. It was an astronomical sum to Lin Moyu, yet she gave it away freely, even though her pursuers had been after it. "Why is it so cold?" Ningyi asked, warming her hands by the fire. Lin Moyu realized the chill came from his skeleton warrior and ordered it to move away. Now relaxed, Ningyi began to chatter. She explained that she had found a treasure chest in the Carmen Orc Legion camp and found the scroll by chance. When the men saw it, they tried to snatch it. "I ran for 2 days from Shanghai City to West Sea City," she said, dismissing the 10 million gold item as if it weren't worth much. "You almost died just now," Lin Moyu said softly. "Don't worry, I can't die," she replied. "I have a treasure that teleports me if I take fatal damage. But thanks anyway. If not for you, I would have been hurt and I'm afraid of pain." She then reached out her hand. "I gave you the scroll. Do you have anything else to eat? I'm still hungry." Lin Moyu offered some buns taken from the fallen men, but she shook her head. "I don't want buns from dead people, I want sweet potatoes." He smiled and made the swap. As she ate, she asked, "Lin the dork, are you here to level up?" "Which academy do you plan to apply to?" "Xiajing Academy," he answered. Ningyi wasn't surprised. Given he could slaughter level 20 professionals at level 10, he could get in anywhere. "If you go there, remember to challenge the Shangxia Tower," she advised. "The first challenge rewards are doubled. Points are more useful than gold there. And try to get into Chuangshan Academy within Xiajing." She talked incessantly until her voice faded into sleep. Lin Moyu covered her with a spare cloak and began to meditate. Lin Moyu awoke with his mental strength fully restored. Ning Yi was already watching him. "Are there any more sweet potatoes?" she asked with a grin. He handed her one, then another. "Can you not be so petty?" she teased. "A man should be generous. Bring them all here." He gave her his remaining 20 sweet potatoes. Satisfied, she prepared to leave. "This young lady is off. I need to level up too. See you later, Lin the dork. Hurry up and level so you can carry me later." She left decisively, taking the potatoes and the cloak. Once she was gone, Lin Moyu turned his attention to the 3 corpses left behind. He cast Corpse Explosion. A deafening blast followed, shattering trees and leaving a crater 10 meters deep. He tested it again, having a skeleton warrior toss a corpse into the air before detonating it. The air burst was even more powerful. It was a perfect skill for destroying evidence. Not a scrap of the 3 men remained. Lin Moyu headed toward the West Sea Mine, the goblin lair. As he approached, the monsters grew stronger, level 12 warriors and level 13 archers, but they were no match for his summons. He summoned 4 more skeleton warriors, bringing his total to 48. His skill had reached level 10, evolving his summons into bronze-grade skeleton warriors, though each now required 70 mental energy points. As he neared the dungeon entrance, more people began to appear on the cleared path. Lin Moyu arrived at the entrance of the West Sea Mine dungeon, observing the vortex. Unlike the small novice portals, this one emanated a palpable aura of dread. Around him, adventurers were shouting for teammates, desperate for healers and knights to tackle the nightmare difficulty. Lin Moyu walked toward the entrance accompanied by a single skeleton warrior, having stowed the others in his summoning space. The creature's bones ground together with every step, its soul fire casting a cold, flickering light that made the surrounding crowd recoil in fear. They voluntarily cleared a path as he approached the portal. Checking the dungeon information, Lin Moyu noted that the mine dungeon offered only normal and nightmare difficulties. Even on normal, the monsters were elites, far stronger than those in the wild. Nightmare difficulty featured reinforced elites, typically requiring a coordinated 5-person team. "Young man, are you a summoner?" Someone finally asked, but Lin Moyu ignored them. A detection spell hit him, but his shielding badge, a gift from Ning Yi, blocked the attempt. The skeleton warrior's eyes flared red, scaring the caster into a retreat. Despite several invitations to join elite teams, Lin Moyu remained silent. He stepped toward the portal and selected Nightmare difficulty. "Confirm," he whispered, and the world dissolved into light. Behind him, the crowd erupted in chatter, shocked that someone would attempt to solo a nightmare dungeon. Many expected him to become another statistic of arrogance. The interior was a grim reflection of its name. An iron gate stood before Lin Moyu, and from behind it, a massive creature roared. He cast a detection spell through the bars. It was a level 14 goblin mine guard, a reinforced elite with high strength and constitution. While it far outclassed a standard level 14 knight, its attributes paled in comparison to Lin Moyu's summons. Lin Moyu released his skeleton warriors, filling the cramped space with undead soldiers. He threw open the gate. The goblin mine guard rushed out, only to be met by a flurry of greatswords. In 2 seconds, the beast collapsed. A surge of excitement hit Lin Moyu as the experience notification appeared. The experience gain was 10 times higher than monsters in the outside world. He immediately ordered his army forward. The skeletons moved like an unstoppable tide, clearing every interconnected passage of the mine. 5 minutes later, a pillar of light surrounded Lin Moyu. He had reached level 11. With his spiritual power restored, he summoned 4 more skeletons, bringing his total to 56. He checked his updated attributes, noting that his base gains had doubled now that he was past level 10. However, he noticed a discrepancy. While his soul fire and summoning skills had leveled up, his corpse explosion remained at level 1. If Ning Yi were here, she might know why, he mused, briefly recalling the talkative girl's vast knowledge. He pushed the thought aside and continued deeper. By the time he cleared the maze-like tunnels, he was already a third of the way to level 12. Lin Moyu emerged from the tunnels into the latter half of the dungeon. A massive passage stretched out before him, lined with iron-doored cells. In the center of the road sat a gargantuan beast, a wolf-like monster over 5 meters long, blocking the path forward. After navigating the maze-like tunnels, Lin Moyu entered the latter half of the dungeon. A massive monster blocked the center of the road, resembling a giant wolf. Even lying down, it stood over a meter tall. Standing, it would exceed 3 meters in height with a body length of 5 meters. Lin Moyu cast a detection spell. The results identified it as a level 15 Mine Wolf King, an elite boss. While its attributes were inferior to his skeleton warriors, it was significantly stronger than the common monsters he had faced. Since even a boss's attributes have reached this level, it seems the final dungeon boss will be even stronger, Lin Moyu mused. But it shouldn't exceed the skeleton warriors, otherwise no one would be able to clear this. Soloing a nightmare difficulty dungeon at level 10 was unprecedented, as such feats usually required a high-level, well-equipped team of 5. The spell woke the Wolf King, which rose slowly, looming over the skeletons. Its crimson eyes locked onto Lin Moyu, radiating a terrifying pressure. "Attack," Lin Moyu ordered. 56 skeletons rushed forward. The Wolf King let out a deafening roar, releasing a shockwave that knocked back the front line of 30 skeletons. The mine walls trembled, shedding gravel. Lin Moyu felt the blast from dozens of meters away, surprised to see his warriors displaced for the first time. However, their high constitution meant the damage was negligible. They quickly recovered and charged again. "Use skill," Lin Moyu commanded. The skeletons unleashed Berserk Strike. Broadswords flashed with red light, hacking into the beast's flesh until bone was visible. The Wolf King shrieked, thrashing and slamming into the walls to shake off the skeletons clinging to its back. It swiped and bit at them, but its teeth shattered against their sturdy frames. "What's the use of having a large size?" Lin Moyu observed. "If you're meant to die, you'll die." The Wolf King, on the verge of death, let out a final, desperate roar. The shockwave sent the skeletons flying like scattered petals, but they simply rolled and ran back into the fray. Realizing it was outmatched, the Wolf King turned and hobbled down the passage. Running away, Lin Moyu was taken aback. The Wolf King fled, howling for reinforcements. In response, the iron gates on both sides of the passage creaked open. Over 100 mine blood wolves emerged, their eyes glowing with hunger. Lin Moyu used his detection spell, noting they were level 14 and weaker than the mine guards, though their sheer numbers were daunting. Lin Moyu wasn't afraid. He realized that while a normal team would use a narrow choke point to manage such a swarm, he didn't need to. He had cleared the entire mine for experience, and these wolves were just more points to be harvested. The skeleton warriors formed a defensive circle around him. As the blood wolves lunged, biting and clawing at the skeleton's indestructible frames, Lin Moyu waited. Once the swarm was dense enough, he commanded 5 skeletons to focus on a single wolf. It collapsed in seconds. A smile touched Lin Moyu's lips as radiance lit up his palm. Corpse explosion, a violent boom echoed through the passage. Enhanced by his talent, the explosion dealt 200% of the corpse's health as damage within a 20-meter radius. The chain reaction was instantaneous. Notifications flooded his vision as the entire pack was wiped out in a single shot. His experience bar rocketed from 32% to 72%. This skill is invincible, he thought. The Wolf King limped back, eyes wide with terror at the sudden silence of its pack. It stood over the remains of its subordinates, confused and broken. "To be fair, you should have a taste of this too," Lin Moyu said coldly. He triggered 3 more explosions. The blasts stripped the flesh from the Wolf King's bones. With a final whimper, the massive beast collapsed. Lin Moyu noted the 15,000 experience points, low for the effort, but the dropped materials, the Wolf King's fangs and a monster crystal core, were valuable prizes. Monster crystal cores only drop from boss-level monsters or higher, and it's not a guaranteed drop, keeping their price consistently high. Walking through the corridor, a nauseating stench rushed toward him. Lin Moyu couldn't help but cover his nose. In the 1,000-meter corridor, all the iron doors were open and the rooms were empty. The savage wolves had been completely wiped out. At the end of the corridor, a massive mine pit appeared. A path spiraled downward, patrolled by pairs of goblin elite warriors. These level 15 enhanced monsters possessed attributes inferior to a boss, and Lin Moyu didn't take them seriously. He waved his hand and his skeleton warrior army charged. Facing the surging tide, the elite monsters had no power to resist. System notifications flashed as he killed the warriors, granting experience and beast bones. Lin Moyu issued an order for free combat, clearing the pit. In the future, if I solo hell difficulty dungeons, the EXP should be even higher, he mused. If anyone heard him, they would think it a joke. Soloing hell difficulty was unheard of in human history. By the time he reached the bottom, his experience had reached 99%. Only the final boss remained. As long as I take it down, I should be able to reach level 12. He had been inside for just over an hour. Thinking of his sister Lin Mohan, Lin Moyu rarely showed a smile. Sister, we will meet soon. The Goblin King sat in the center of the mine, its breathing sounding like thunder and stirring up hurricanes. Lin Moyu used a detection spell, waking the level 16 beast. It leaped up with a roar, swinging a giant blade toward him. Lin Moyu didn't dodge. The blade stopped 10 centimeters away, blocked by an invisible force. Damage transfer ensured all attacks were borne by his summons, but Lin Moyu frowned. The soul fire of his skeletons flickered violently and cracks appeared on their bones. He realized that because his own constitution was only 120, the massive damage from the king's 3,000 strength was being transferred based on his own frail defense. So I am the only weakness, he realized. I need to stack constitution from now on. He retreated while his skeletons unleashed berserk strikes, tearing into the king's flesh. The Goblin King used its knockback skill, slamming the ground to clear the skeletons away, then spewed flames from its mouth. Lin Moyu recalled 4 dying skeletons to his summoning space. I must interrupt its skill, he muttered. He cast Soul Fire, landing a silent flame on the king's head. The mental damage interrupted the fire breath. A minute later, the Goblin King fell. Lin Moyu reached level 12 and collected his spoils, a Goblin King's dagger, a knowledge robe, and a valuable crystal core. He donned the robe, increasing his mental strength and constitution. After summoning 4 new skeletons, he headed for the exit. Lin Moyu appeared abruptly at the entrance. His appearance immediately attracted everyone's attention, specifically the cold, evil aura of the skeleton warriors following him. He's out, someone whispered. I didn't expect him to come out alive. Could it be that he really soloed the dungeon? Wait, no, look at the clothes he's wearing. Don't they look like the knowledge robe? It really is. It really is the knowledge robe. Incredible. A big shot who can solo a dungeon is right in front of me. Lin Moyu didn't care about the others' discussions. The dungeon had entered a 12-hour cooldown and he had no interest in grinding wild monsters. The experience gain was too low and searching for them was a hassle. This break was perfect for meditating to recover his mental strength and summarizing his gains. He walked silently to an empty spot and sat down, his skeleton warrior standing faithfully by his side as a silent guardian. This trip had been significant. He now understood his weaknesses and the true potential of his skills. If used correctly, Corpse Explosion was an unparalleled god-tier area of effect skill. Soul Fire could interrupt enemy skills with a defense-ignoring mental attack that even a nightmare-grade boss could hardly withstand. As he sorted through his experiences, he realized that no one dared to approach him. The sight of his skeletal summon was enough to keep the 100 or so people at the entrance at a distance. Night fell, and Lin Moyu ended his meditation. His mental strength was mostly recovered. Around him, bonfires sprang up as people roasted meat, the rich aroma filling the air. Unlike the others who were well prepared, Lin Moyu realized he had given all his sweet potatoes to Ning Yi. A slight smile touched his lips at the thought of her mischievous nature before he pulled out a plain bun to eat. Brother, do you want to come over and have some? A young man called out, waving from a nearby fire. It was Wang Yi, a support professional in his 20s. Lin Moyu shook his head politely. Why are you calling him over? One of Wang Yi's companions whispered. He's a weirdo. That undead summon is terrifying. I think he's just not fond of talking, Wang Yi defended him. He hasn't provoked anyone. Wang Yi cut a large piece of roasted meat and brought it over, placing the plate in front of Lin Moyu with a friendly smile. After checking the food with a detection spell, Lin Moyu ate. The meat was delicious, and Wang Yi's sunny expression reminded him of his friend Gao Yang. When the 12-hour cooldown finally passed, Lin Moyu stood up, feeling his mental strength fully restored. He hoped to reach level 13 during this next run. However, the entrance was packed and a standoff was underway. A group of people in uniform, armed with high-quality weapons, blocked the way. Your dynasty guild is being too overbearing. Someone shouted from the disorganized crowd of protesters. A mage holding a staff stepped forward from the guild ranks. Our young guild leader is completing a quest inside. Until he is finished, no one is allowed to enter. Lin Moyu approached Wang Yi, who looked angry. What's wrong? Wang Yi was surprised to hear Lin Moyu speak. The Dynasty Guild is hunting the Goblin King's crystal core, he whispered. It only drops once every 100 days in a nightmare-level dungeon. Today is that day. They want it so their young leader can craft a Goblin King ring to help him get into Xiajing Academy. Lin Moyu realized the coincidence. The crystal core currently sitting in his storage space was worth far more than the 100,000 gold coins he had initially expected. The ring it produced added 10 to all attributes and increased all skill levels by 1, a god-tier accessory for anyone under level 40. Ignoring the warnings, Lin Moyu walked toward the entrance, his skeleton warrior clicking loudly against the ground. What are you doing? The lead mage, Zhao Jai, demanded coldly. He and a dozen level 20 professionals, a full combat team in bronze-tier gear, stared him down. Lin Moyu stopped and said indifferently, "Move aside." Zhao Jai laughed. "Young man, are you drunk? Go home. Don't stop me from entering the dungeon," Lin Moyu replied seriously, "or I will kill you." Zhao Jai cast a detection spell on him and sneered. "Lin Moyu, a level 12 Necromancer. I've never seen this class, but you're just a kid. I'll spare you this once. Get lost." Lin Moyu returned the detection spell. Zhao Jai was a level 25 mage, but he wasn't an elite like Xia Zhu. To Lin Moyu, he wasn't a threat. Level 12 kid, go home and drink some milk. The guild members mocked. Behind him, the protesters pleaded, "Young man, come back. They really will kill people." Wang Yi shouted urgently, "Brother, come back. Let's enter the dungeon after they leave." Lin Moyu ignored the warnings, his voice turning icy. "One last time, move aside or die." Zhao Jai felt an involuntary shiver. The gaze Lin Moyu leveled at him was unsettling. It was as if the boy didn't see a person but a monster. Snapping out of his momentary fear, Zhao Jai sneered, "Brat, you're looking for death. Take one more step and I'll kill you." Lin Moyu's mouth twitched. "Kill," he commanded nonchalantly. A skeleton warrior charged like lightning, reaching the mage in a heartbeat. Zhao Jai smirked as a pale blue energy shield shimmered around him. "You're just level 12. You couldn't break this shield if I let you hit me." The skeleton's blade slammed into the barrier, deforming it so violently it nearly shattered. Zhao Jai's expression crumbled. His shield was supposed to withstand 5 attacks from a warrior of his own level, yet this summon nearly broke it in one. Lin Moyu's heart stirred and a red light erupted from the skeleton's blade. Berserk strike. Terrified, Zhao Jai realized the summon could use skills. Repulsion fire ring. He screamed, releasing a burst of flames that pushed the skeleton back and interrupted its attack. "What are you watching for? Attack." A knight responded with a charge, slamming his shield into the skeleton warrior. A loud boom echoed, but it was the knight who was sent flying while the skeleton remained unmoved. The summon charged again, focused entirely on Zhao Jai. "Kill the summoner," Zhao Jai shouted, retreating while reinforcing his shield. 2 archers fired simultaneously, their arrows splitting into 6 streaks of light. Lin Moyu didn't flinch. A black vortex opened, and 2 more skeleton warriors emerged to block the arrows with their bodies. The projectiles clattered harmlessly against bone. The new skeletons immediately lunged for the archers. "More than one," Zhao Jai hissed. He ordered his warriors and knights to form a wall in front of him. Once protected, he began a 2-second incantation. Dancing fire snakes. A rare, high-level fire spell lunged toward Lin Moyu. The crowd of onlookers gasped, recognizing it as the strongest mage skill before the second transition. Lin Moyu remained calm as another vortex appeared. This time, 20 skeleton warriors emerged, their soul fires flickering in the dark. The fire snakes exploded against them, but the skeletons charged through the flames toward the Dynasty Guild members. "How are there so many?" Zhao Jai gasped. He quickly organized his team into a professional battle formation. Knights took the front, damage dealers held the center, and supports provided buffs from the rear. Within 30 seconds, the team was fully bolstered with strength, agility, and energy shields. Lin Moyu looked back at Wang Yi and the others. "You all retreat." The onlookers scrambled away, leaving Lin Moyu to face the guild alone. He targeted an archer with soul fire. The archer screamed as his vitality plummeted, but a quick heal from the guild's support saved him. "Healers, pay attention," Zhao Jai commanded. "He's a necromancer, not just a summoner." Lin Moyu shifted his focus to the lead knight. "Concentrate attacks on one person." Over 10 skeletons swarmed the knight. Despite constant healing and activating his ultimate defense, the knight groaned under the pressure. Soul fire bypassed his physical defenses, attacking his spirit directly. When the ultimate defense finally flickered out after 20 seconds, Lin Moyu gave the final order. Use skills. A dozen berserk strikes landed at once. The knight was obliterated before the healers could react. As the formation broke, Zhao Jai turned to flee. Run, too late, Lin Moyu whispered. A skeleton warrior hoisted the knight's fresh corpse into the air. Lin Moyu triggered asterisk corpse explosion. A deafening blast rocked the area, dealing massive damage based on the knight's high vitality. The 20-meter radius was turned into a kill zone. When the smoke cleared, the Dynasty Guild squad was gone. Only mangled remains and scattered loot remained. Lin Moyu systematically detonated the remaining corpses to destroy all evidence before collecting the items and disappearing into the dungeon. The group of freelance players who had protested earlier finally dared to approach. When corpse explosion occurred, the terrifying energy scraped against them like knives, causing pain all over their bodies. Good heavens, they're all dead, not a single one left, truly. It's not just that no people were left, even the corpses are gone, truly destroying all evidence. He really is a man of few words and ruthless actions. This time, he's really crossed the Dynasty Guild. The Dynasty Guild won't just let this go. What should we do? Wang Yi suddenly stood up and said, everyone, given the Dynasty Guild's nature, they definitely won't let this slide. If we get caught by them, whether we talk or not, the outcome will be death. I have a proposal. Why don't we all leave now? Leave West Sea City, leave Jiangning Province, and get far away from the Dynasty Guild's sphere of influence. There are plenty of other places to level up anyway. The Dynasty Guild isn't a god, they won't necessarily be able to find us. His proposal was immediately accepted by everyone. Just as he said, the Dynasty Guild wasn't exactly a bunch of good people. Once caught by them, whether you spoke or not, the outcome was pretty much the same. Wang Yi cupped his hands in a respectful gesture. I'll take my leave first. May we meet again if fate allows. See you again if fate allows. The others replied. With the tension breaking, the crowd retreated, leaving the entrance deserted. The firelight died out, leaving only the rotating black vortex of the dungeon entrance humming in the silence. Half an hour later, Wang Zihao and his team teleported out. Disappointment etched his face. The Goblin King's crystal core had failed to drop again. He would have to wait 12 hours to re-enter, though he calculated he had at least 4 more attempts before the major exam. Why is there no one here? One of his companions asked, looking around the empty clearing. Where did Zhao Jai and the freelance players go? The group, all level 17, looked to Wang Zihao for guidance. Confused, he ordered, fire a signal flare. If Zhao Jai is nearby, he will respond. A ball of light exploded in the sky, visible for 10 miles, but no response came. Wang Zihao realized something must have happened. There were no traces of a struggle, yet everyone was gone. It's too eerie, he muttered. Let's leave and try to contact Zhao Jai from elsewhere. Inside the dungeon, Lin Moyu moved with lethal efficiency. His 64 skeleton warriors tore through the monsters as his experience climbed. Within an hour, he reached the end. The skeleton warriors swarmed the Goblin King. Lin Moyu used soul fire to instantly interrupt the boss's skills. In less than 30 seconds, the nightmare-level boss collapsed. Killed the Goblin King, experience plus 40000. Obtained bronze-grade weapon, Goblin King's magic book. Obtained low-level monster crystal core. The rare crystal core didn't drop, but Lin Moyu wasn't deterred. He examined the magic book, noting its spirit and constitution bonuses. While the 3% magic power boost didn't help his skeletons, it would strengthen his soul fire. A golden light enveloped him. He had reached level 13. He calculated that while his leveling speed was slowing, he could likely hit level 16 before the entrance exams. The next day, the dungeon entrance regained its usual bustle. When Lin Moyu returned, his presence drew hushed whispers. What a weirdo, one player remarked. He's so cold and those summoned creatures are terrifying. I saw him go in alone, another added. He's soloing it. Zia Zhu watched from the distance as Lin Moyu vanished into the portal. She knew he was the only necromancer in the world. Biting her lip, she felt a surge of defiance. She had reached level 10 and was ready to prove herself. I won't lose to you, she whispered before joining a team and entering the dungeon. Inside, Lin Moyu's legion had grown to 72 skeleton warriors. He cleared the path in 45 minutes. When the Goblin King awoke, it was met with a barrage of blades. "Don't be depressed," Lin Moyu said softly to the dying boss. "I won't come back after a few more times. Being killed by me is faster, so there's less suffering." He collected a Goblin King's longbow and exited. He was now 20% away from level 14. That afternoon, the Dynasty Guild investigated the disappearance of Zhao Jai. Their polite inquiries yielded no answers from the new players at the dungeon. Meanwhile, news of their previous blockade had reached the Professionals Association, triggering a severe warning. In the guild headquarters, Wang Wei slammed his hand on his desk, screaming at his son. "Has your brain been eaten by a mad dog? How did you come up with the idea of blocking the dungeon? Do you think the Shangxia Empire is just for show?" Wang Zihao kept his head down. "Then what about Zhao Jai and the others?" he finally asked. "What about them? They're probably dead," Wang Wei roared. "If they're not dead, they've run away. Either way, they're useless now. You, on the other hand, better not cause any more trouble. If the Professionals Association comes knocking again, even I won't be able to protect you." Wang Zihao's face turned pale. He had never seen his father so angry and realized his actions had truly endangered the guild. "I understand, father," he whispered. "Get out." Wang Wei pointed at the door. Wang Zihao scurried out, his heart pounding. He couldn't just let it go. He needed to find out what happened to Zhao Jai. Meanwhile, Wang Wei dismissed the matter. People had already been sent to investigate, and he knew the force capable of making so many people disappear was beyond his son's handling. Regardless, Wang Zihao was level 16, which was enough to enter Ziyajing Academy even if he remained grounded. Lin Moyu prepared for his next run, aiming for level 16 before the Ziyajing Academy entrance exam. He looked at his skeleton warriors, their hollow eyes glowing with blue light. "Let's go," he said, stepping into the dungeon for the 4th time. His summons had increased to 76. Knowing the layout perfectly, he decided to test a new strategy. He commanded the skeletons to rush into the tunnels like a tide. Instead of engaging, they acted as bait, drawing a massive swarm of goblins deep into the mine. Lin Moyu followed behind, maintaining the 1,000-meter control range allowed by his bronze-grade summons. The commotion woke the Mine Wolf King, but the skeletons ignored its attacks until the entire mob was gathered. Standing at the tunnel entrance, Lin Moyu commanded a skeleton to kill a single goblin mine guard. As the body dropped, he triggered Corpse Explosion. A massive boom shook the cave, raining rocks upon the monsters. Lin Moyu detonated 10 corpses in a row, the overlapping roars shaving a layer off the dungeon floor. The Mine Wolf King died instantly in the blast. As the iron gates opened to release the dire wolves, Lin Moyu didn't slow down. "Continue, pull them all into the mine pit." The skeletons dragged the new wave of wolves toward the Goblin King's lair. Within 5 minutes of entering, a golden glow radiated from Lin Moyu. He had already reached level 14. At the bottom of the pit, over 200 monsters were now bunched together. The Goblin King woke up in confusion just as Lin Moyu arrived. "I'm here again," he remarked. The skeletons unleashed Berserk Strike, dropping a wolf to provide the first catalyst. A series of corpse explosions followed. The Goblin King collapsed in seconds, dying more efficiently than in previous runs. Lin Moyu collected the loot, including a bronze-grade Goblin King's staff, and noted he was already 60% through level 14. Lin Moyu exited and found a quiet spot to meditate. His skeleton's attributes now exceeded those of a nightmare-grade boss, though he still lacked high-damage area skills. His meditation was interrupted by a familiar voice. "What level are you?" Ziazu asked, her face smudged with dust. "Level 14, Lin Moyu replied calmly. "What?" Ziazu shrieked. "How could you be so fast?" She had struggled through 2 normal runs just to reach level 11. She couldn't fathom that he was soloing nightmare difficulty. "I won't admit defeat," she huffed, turning back toward the entrance. Lin Moyu watched in surprise as she immediately re-entered the dungeon with a new team. He knew dungeons had a 12-hour cooldown, yet she was bypassing it. 2 hours later, she emerged exhausted, only to use a glowing item and enter yet again 10 minutes later. "If there's an opportunity, I can ask about it," Lin Moyu thought, returning to his meditation. His spirit attribute had reached 700, a hallmark of the mage class. A few hours later, heavy footsteps approached. Zia Zhu walked over to Lin Moyu, exhausted and sprawled on the ground beside him. Even without cooldown restrictions, her body couldn't handle continuous grinding. "I'm exhausted," she muttered, unconcerned with her image or the skeleton warrior standing guard nearby. After catching her breath, she regained some spirit. "This young lady is already level 12. I'll catch up to you soon." Lin Moyu looked at her. "Aren't you tired?" "Of course I am," Zia Zhu snorted. "I don't even want to move a finger. Why push yourself?" Zia Zhu looked annoyed. "You have the nerve to ask. I've been suppressed by you for years. I must surpass you. Plus, I want to get into Xiajing Academy. You're applying too, so you should understand. To qualify for Xiajing Academy, one needed to be at least level 14, though level 16 was the only safe bet. With only 2 days left, Lin Moyu doubted she could reach level 15 alone. "You should grind nightmare-level dungeons to level up faster," he suggested. "Are you kidding?" Zia Zhu rolled her eyes. "Elite teams only want level 16 or 17 professionals. I'm only level 12, nobody wants a damage dealer at my level." She sighed, looking at the teams shouting for members. "I'll just grind normal dungeons. Level 14 shouldn't be a problem, and if I work hard, 15 is possible." Lin Moyu finally asked, "Why are you able to ignore the cooldown time?" Zia Zhu giggled. "You actually don't know. There really is something you don't know." She smiled mischievously. "Say something nice and I'll tell you." Lin Moyu simply turned his head and closed his eyes. "What a blockhead," Zia Zhu grumbled, losing interest. "Fine, I'll tell you. It's because I used a cooldown amulet." She handed him a palm-sized gemstone shimmering with mysterious runes. Lin Moyu used a detection spell on the item. Basic cooldown amulet uses remaining 710 description, can negate a dungeon's cooldown time, only effective for dungeons below level 20. "Is this thing expensive?" he whispered. "I don't know. My dad gave it to me," Zia Zhu said, but he looked a bit pained when he handed it over. Given her family's high status in Jiangning province, Lin Moyu realized the item was likely of immense value. Zia Zhu looked miserable again. 2 days left. "I want to use all 7 reset chances. Including my natural cooldowns, I need 9 more runs to guarantee level 15. I'm going to be worked to death." Lin Moyu thought for a moment. "I can take you to grind dungeons. I guarantee you'll reach level 15 and you won't have to do anything." Zia Zhu's eyes lit up. Partnering with someone who could solo dungeons meant more experience and less work. "Fine, I agree. You take me and I'll share the amulet so we can use it together." "In 2 more hours, my cooldown will be over," Lin Moyu said, refusing to waste a reset charge so soon. "All right, I'll sleep for a bit. Call me when it's time." Zia Zhu curled up and fell asleep immediately, trusting Lin Moyu completely. He commanded his skeleton to guard her and began meditating. "Get up," Lin Moyu said, waking her. Zia Zhu stood and stretched, her tall, curvaceous figure a stark contrast to the grim skeleton warrior nearby. They formed a party with Lin Moyu as the leader. Zia Zhu activated the amulet, clearing their cooldowns. "All right, let's go in." Lin Moyu opened the portal and selected Nightmare difficulty. "Did you pick the wrong one?" Zia Zhu's expression changed drastically, but before she could finish, they were pulled inside. The heavy atmosphere made it hard for Zia Zhu to breathe. Under her detection spell, the attributes of the enhanced elite monsters were terrifying. "This is Nightmare difficulty," she whispered in terror. "Did you choose the wrong one?" "I didn't choose wrong," Lin Moyu replied. "You must be crazy, we're going to die." Zia Zhu cried out. Lin Moyu ignored her panic. "Follow me in a moment." He began summoning, and in a blink, 80 skeleton warriors filled the room. He threw open the iron gate, and the undead army rushed into the tunnel like a tide. The monsters immediately gave chase. "Follow me," Lin Moyu commanded, starting to run. Zia Zhu was stunned. Can a dungeon even be played like this? "Hurry up, you aren't scared, are you?" Lin Moyu called back. "This young lady isn't afraid," she yelled, sprinting to catch up. They ran through the tunnels with the skeletons leading the way and a horde of elite monsters trailing behind them. "What exactly are you trying to do?" Zia Zhu asked breathlessly. "Clearing the dungeon," Lin Moyu replied indifferently. Running through the long mining tunnel, they saw the Mine Wolf King. The Nightmare difficulty boss was more than a full size larger than its normal counterpart. Zia Zhu didn't even need a detection spell to know it was terrifying. The skeleton warriors charged. The Wolf King lashed out at them, but the skeletons ignored the attacks, continuing their relentless sprint. "Why aren't they fighting back?" Zia Zhu asked, surprised by their durability. Almost there, Lin Moyu commanded. Once the trailing monsters caught up, several skeleton warriors activated their skills simultaneously, instantly killing an enhanced elite. As the corpse was tossed into the air, Lin Moyu raised his hand. Corpse explosion, a loud bang echoed through the tunnel. Experience notifications flooded in, and Zia Zu's experience bar jumped by 30%. Before she could process the move, several more explosions rocked the mine. The mine wolf king fell with a mournful cry. "It's dead, just like that," Zia Zu stammered. She remembered the 20-minute struggle her previous team had endured against the normal version. Here, in a nightmare dungeon, Lin Moyu had essentially one-shot it. A tingling sensation rose from her feet to her head. This wasn't a dungeon crawl, it was a stroll through a backyard. Lin Moyu waved his hand. "Let's go." As they descended, Zia Zu asked with difficulty, "Do you always solo nightmare dungeons?" "Yes," Lin Moyu replied calmly. "Starting from level 10, that's right." Zia Zu finally understood his rapid leveling. They had reached the final boss in less than 10 minutes, a feat that usually took over an hour. The giant Goblin King loomed ahead, radiating oppression, but the skeleton warriors swarmed it like wasps. A dozen deafening explosions followed, and silence returned. A light shimmered around Lin Moyu as he leveled up. Zia Zu was numb. "You leveled up again, level 15, Lin Moyu nodded. He checked the loot, a bronze-grade longsword and a monster core. "It's a pity it's not a staff," Zia Zu sighed. "The Goblin King's staff is the best for mages my level, but I don't want to ask my dad for the money to buy one." A black shadow flew toward her. She caught it instinctively. It was the Goblin King's staff. "It's yours," Lin Moyu said indifferently. "Thank you," she said, stunned. "Why don't you use it?" "Staves are more practical than magic books." Lin Moyu took out his magic book. "I don't like staves." He turned his attention to his updated stats. His spirit had reached 800, and his summoning space had expanded to 150. Level 15 made his chances for Zyajing Academy much higher. He calculated that with Zia Zu's cooldown amulet, they could run the dungeon 5 more times. Looking at the fallen boss, Lin Moyu said softly, "Sorry, I might have to kill you 5 more times." "Why are you talking to the boss?" Zia Zu laughed. "It can't understand you. I just wanted to say it," he replied. Zia Zu watched him, finding the gesture strangely cute. "What a weirdo." They exited, and Zia Zu immediately used the primary cooldown amulet. Within seconds, they re-entered. Zia Zu was visibly excited this time, her previous shock replaced by a spoiled, playful temper. "What are you looking at?" she teased when she caught Lin Moyu staring. "Haven't you seen a beautiful woman before?" Lin Moyu didn't respond, though he noted she was indeed beautiful in a way that contrasted with his friend Ning Yi. 10 minutes later, the Goblin King fell again. 4 more times, Lin Moyu whispered. They ran the dungeon repeatedly, taking less than an hour to exhaust the amulet's charges. By the end, Zia Zu had reached level 14, and Lin Moyu sat at level 15 with 85% experience. After reaching level 15, running the dungeon in a 2-person party only increased experience by 26%. The efficiency was several times slower than before, but with a day and a half left before the big exam, they had enough time for 2 more runs. Zia Zu was full of excitement. Reaching level 15 before the big exam makes getting into Zyajing Academy a sure thing. "Lin Dork, are you also about to level up?" Lin Moyu nodded. "Soon. By then you'll be level 16 and I'll be level 15, Zia Zu mused, momentarily abandoning her competitive streak. If 2 people from West Sea City get into Zyajing Academy this year, Principal Lu Yun will be laughing in his dreams. Getting into Zyajing Academy was a supreme honor, a feat reserved only for the top 1,000 prodigies in the entire Shangxia Empire. Most spots were claimed by big cities and powerful families, making it nearly impossible for those from small cities to compete. Last year, Lin Moyu's sister, Lin Mohan, had made it, and a few years prior, Su Kaingsing had achieved the same fame. The two sat on the ground to wait out their cooldown. "Lin Dork, do you want to try to aim for the top scholar?" Zia Zu asked. "Provincial top scholar." Lin Moyu looked over. If you become the provincial top scholar, you earn points that are incredibly useful in Zyajing Academy. Most importantly, you'd have a chance to join Chuangshan Academy. Lin Moyu recalled Ning Yi mentioning that points were more valuable than gold and that Chuangshan Academy was the true peak. "Do you know anything about Chuangshan Academy?" Zia Zu curled her legs up. "I've only heard my dad mention it. It's the most formidable academy in the empire." Xiaojing admits elites, but Chuangshan takes the absolute peak figures. My dad said I likely have no chance, but I think you do. Senior Su Kaingsing got in, and he's the only one from our city who ever has. If there's an opportunity, I will give it a try, Lin Moyu said quietly. He was determined to reach Xiaojing to see his sister, but the higher goal now intrigued him. Xia Zhu's eyes lit up as she pointed toward the dungeon entrance. Isn't that Gao Yang? The boy was at the entrance, looking desperate for a team. Xia Zhu cast a detection spell and giggled. He's already level 11, but he's a knight. It's hard for him to find a team at that level. A level 11 knight couldn't tank even a normal dungeon. Most teams required at least level 13. Take him with us, Lin Moyu suggested. I have no problem with that, Xia Zhu agreed. Gao Yang walked over with a meaningful smirk. You too, shut your foul mouth or I'll tear you apart, Xia Zhu snapped, her spoiled lady temper returning. Gao Yang rubbed his head, startled. Just joking, don't take it seriously. Stop looking for a team, Xia Zhu told him. Once our cooldown ends, we'll take you. You'll reach level 12 before the exam. Gao Yang let out an excited roar. Really? You two are my benefactors. The academy I want requires level 12. You are truly good people. If you act like this again, we won't take you, Xia Zhu warned, a fireball appearing in her palm. Gao Yang immediately went serious. Don't worry, I'll behave. I just don't know how much longer your cooldown will take. 10 hours, Xia Zhu calculated. All right, you two rest. I'll go grind some wild monsters. Moyu, good luck. I believe in you. Sooner or later, you'll win over Xia Zhu. He bolted instantly. Xia Zhu stomped her foot and hurled the fireball. It exploded behind Gao Yang, sending sparks onto his backside. He screamed and disappeared into the distance. This guy is asking for a beating, she huffed. Lin Moyu agreed, though he appreciated Gao Yang's sincerity. 10 hours later, the three of them formed a team and entered the nightmare-level dungeon. The moment they stepped inside, Gao Yang collapsed in terror. Why did you enter nightmare difficulty? Stop talking nonsense and just follow behind, Xia Zhu said. Gao Yang clung to Xia Zhu's shadow, terrified of the monsters that could kill him in one hit. 10 minutes later, he stared at the dead boss in shock. It's already dead? Close your mouth, you're drooling, Xia Zhu remarked. Gao Yang suddenly hugged Lin Moyu's leg. Boss Lin, take me with you in the future. I'll be your pendant. Where's your knight spirit? Xia Zhu asked, exasperated. What's the use of spirit? With boss here, what do we need a knight for? A faint white light flickered over Lin Moyu as he reached level 16. After one more run, Xia Zhu would hit level 15, and Gao Yang would reach his goal of level 12 for Jiangning Academy. Several principals stood together, watching the horizon. The children should be coming back, one noted. Tomorrow is the final exam. Old Lu, those two geniuses from your school are aiming for Xiaojing, right? Principal Lu Yun stared into the distance. Yes, but the competition is intense. You need level 16 to guarantee success. It's tough. Only Lin Mohan and Su Kaingsing have reached level 16 in recent years. Believe in them, Lu Yun said. Students began to appear in the distance. The principals used detection spells as they approached. Su Zhen from number 3 high school returned at level 12, and Wan Ming from number 2 high school arrived at level 13. The principals watched with anticipation as their students filed back toward the city. My student Wan Ming from number 2 high school has also returned, one principal noted. The boy was a level 13 eagle-eye archer. Students were trickling back one by one, while the principals atop the city wall continuously cast detection spells. This annual ritual was a silent competition among the educators. Most returning students were between levels 10 and 13, not a single level 14 had appeared yet. As the sky grew darker, Principal Lu Yun became anxious. His expression turned serious as he scanned the horizon. Logically, his top 3 students should have returned by now. Could something have happened? He muttered. Finally, before night fell completely, 3 figures emerged from the gloom. A smile broke across Lu Yun's face. As long as they were safe, the results didn't matter. He cast his detection spell into the breeze. Gao Yang was a level 12 sword and shield knight. Xia Zhu had reached level 15 as an elemental mage. The surrounding principals gasped. At level 15, Xia Zhu was almost guaranteed a spot at the prestigious Xiaojing Academy. Then the spell hit the last student. Because the principals were all second transfer professionals above level 40, Lin Moyu's shielding badge was useless against them. Lin Moyu was a level 16 necromancer. The principals hissed in shock. He was a level higher than Ziazu. They must have been grinding a dungeon, one whispered, noting the Goblin King equipment held by Gao Yang and Ziazu. The drop rates are low, they must be incredibly lucky. As the trio reached the wall, Principal Lu Yun called down, "After you enter the city, go to the bus. I'll take you back to school once everyone is here." "Understood, Principal," Gao Yang shouted back. Lu Yun chuckled, feeling a surge of pride. He had won the day. After a night of meditation, Lin Moyu arrived at the school in peak condition. His mental strength was fully recovered, and 100 skeleton warriors waited in his summoning space, their attributes boosted to terrifying levels. Gao Yang waved vigorously. "Boss Lin." Lin Moyu nodded. Despite his strength, his cold personality and eerie profession kept most classmates at a distance. Ziazu, however, approached him with a bright smile. "Are you confident?" she asked. "Yes," Lin Moyu replied. "Then we'll see each other at Xiajing Academy." Principal Lu Yun stepped forward, holding a handful of glowing stones. "These are teleportation stones for the exam site in Zhanghai City. During the exam, safety comes first. Start the teleportation now." One by one, the students vanished in streams of light. A majestic voice boomed as a massive tower descended from the sky. "Trial tower opening." The doors of the first floor groaned open. "Listen to the rules, no speaking. No questions, violators will be disqualified." When a few students whispered in confusion, beams of light instantly snatched them away. The plaza fell into a deathly silence. Lin Moyu glanced at Gao Yang, who was literally holding his mouth shut to stay quiet. The voice continued, explaining that combat classes would face battle scenarios while support classes faced non-combat trials. Points earned would serve as both grades and currency for future academies. Your storage spaces are now locked. You may only use the equipment you carry. As the line moved forward, Lin Moyu removed his shielding badge. He stepped into the tower and was teleported into an independent trial space. Several level 70 examiners watched a projection of Lin Moyu. "A necromancer? It's been 30 years since a new class appeared," one remarked. "The report says he's a summon-type mage. Let's see if this new class lives up to the hype. We'll set the difficulty to the rare grade mage standard for now." A monster materialized before Lin Moyu. It possessed the head of a wolf but wore tattered mage robes and gripped a glowing staff. It was a mage-type opponent, ready to strike. It was unclear how strong the opponent truly was. A light screen separated Lin Moyu from the mage-type monster, blocking his detection spell and leaving him without information. The exam task was simple: kill the Wolfman mage. As a countdown appeared on the screen, Lin Moyu prepared himself, summoning a skeleton warrior to his side. The moment the timer hit 0 and the screen vanished, the skeleton warrior charged. However, Lin Moyu's soul fire was faster. It slammed into the Wolfman mage's head the instant the barrier dropped. The monster let out a single scream and collapsed. "Dead," Lin Moyu muttered, speechless at how low the creature's strength seemed to be. At the top of the high tower, the examiners were in a state of shock. They questioned if the data was set incorrectly, but the settings were confirmed. The monster was 2 levels higher than the professional, a standard for rare-grade candidates. Usually, these battles lasted up to half a minute to test combat skills, but Lin Moyu's one-shot kill was unprecedented. "What should we do?" one examiner asked, looking toward the man in charge of the mage class exam. Before a decision could be made, an old man entered the room. The examiners immediately bowed. "Master Ning, why are you here? I heard a new professional appeared this year," Ning Xuanfeng said, watching Lin Moyu on the screen. "He looks like a good young man." After hearing about the instant kill, Ning Xuanfeng noted that the rare grade settings couldn't measure the strength of this necromancer class. He ordered a second exam, set to the strength of a legendary grade professional. When an examiner worried about fairness and points, Ning Xuanfeng laughed. He declared Lin Moyu the top rank of the first round with 100 points and offered an additional 1,000 points from his own pocket if the boy passed the second test. Lin Moyu waited as a new light screen appeared. A monster with a much more powerful aura materialized. The prompt informed him to proceed with the second exam. Lin Moyu assumed this was just part of the standard rules, unaware he was being singled out. The moment the screen dropped, he activated Soul Fire again. The mage monster screamed and died instantly. The examiners were stunned for a second time. Even against a monster set to level 24 levels higher than the candidate, it was a one-shot kill. Ning Xuanfeng decided to move on to the second round of the general exam. Combat class candidates, the first round of the exam has ended, the voice echoed. Of the 632 candidates, 522 passed. The rankings appeared before everyone. Lin Moyu was first with a time of 0.1 seconds and 100 points. Zhuo Mei followed in second at 3.2 seconds and Xia Zhu took third at 5.2 seconds. Wang Zihao, the young guild master of the Dynasty Guild, was fourth at 5.5 seconds. Wang Zihao was furious, unable to believe he hadn't made the top 3. 0.1 seconds, there must be a mistake. Xia Zhu looked at the rankings with a mix of admiration and rivalry. Dull Lin is amazing, but I won't admit defeat. Lin Moyu touched his nose subconsciously, wondering if he had been too excessive. The voice announced the second round, explaining that candidates could choose their own difficulty, normal, nightmare, or hell. He warned that casualties could occur and that candidates could shout give up if they were in danger. The second round was a 30-minute endurance test. Killing a monster on normal gave 1 point, nightmare gave 3, and hell gave 5. Wang Zihao immediately chose hell difficulty, confident in his berserker class. Xia Zhu chose normal, knowing her elemental mage class needed to manage distance and quantity over raw strength. Zhuo Mei, the rogue, chose hell. Lin Moyu considered the options. A 30-minute battle was a lot of pressure for most, but he was an exception. I choose the hell difficulty, he decided. The examiners watched with anticipation. As expected, one remarked, with his summons and skill power, he can definitely handle it. Outside, the principals of the major middle schools were gathered. Principal Lu Yun of No. 1 High School was being congratulated by his peers. Old Lu, you're going to hit it big this time. 2 spots in the top 3. Lu Yun's face was flushed with excitement, his body trembling at the prospect of Lin Moyu becoming the provincial top scorer. As the countdown ended, the second round of the exam began. A ball of light resembling a dungeon entrance materialized before Lin Moyu. An armored monster roared as it stepped out, but with a mere thought, Lin Moyu's skeleton warrior intercepted it. A single slash tore through the creature's flesh. Lin Moyu cast his detection spell. It was a level 13 Wolf Orc Warrior Elite. Its stats were weak compared to the nightmare-level monsters he had faced in the West Sea Mine. He realized the exam was designed to accommodate the majority, not just the elite. The skeleton warrior struck a second time and the wolfman died. 2 strikes, Lin Moyu noted. He summoned a second skeleton warrior. The 2 undead guardians flanked the light orb. 5 seconds later, a second monster appeared and was instantly cut down. It's a bit too simple, he muttered. In the observation room, the examiners were stunned. How is his summoned creature so strong? One asked. It's more powerful than any we've seen, and he has 2. The examiners turned their attention to other candidates. Xia Zhu, choosing normal difficulty, was efficiently managing her mental energy, taking 2 spells to kill each monster. Wang Zihao, a berserker on hell difficulty, was decapitating foes with arrogant ferocity. However, the examiners noted his lack of stamina management. He's going all out too early, an examiner remarked. Compared to Xia Zhu, he lacks adaptability. Nearby, Zhuo Mei also tackled hell difficulty. Unlike Wang Zihao's brute force, she moved like a ghost, using her agility to toy with the wolfmen. Her strikes were precise and her skill timing was perfect, earning her the examiners' respect. When the examiners looked back at Lin Moyu, they were speechless. The young man had pulled a sweet potato from his pocket and was eating it slowly. Since his skeletons killed everything in less than half a second, he had nothing else to do. Eating during the big exam. He's the first in history, an examiner grumbled. Should we increase the difficulty? No, Ning Xuanfeng said, watching with interest. The exam must remain fair. This little guy is interesting. 30 minutes passed. While others were collapsing from exhaustion and mental strain, Lin Moyu looked like he had been watching a show. The monsters vanished and a majestic voice announced that of the 522 candidates, only 244 remained. The rest had withdrawn due to injury or exhaustion. The next round will be more difficult, with life-threatening dangers, the voice warned. You have 60 seconds to decide. The pressure broke many. Over 60 students withdrew, leaving only 180. Then the rankings appeared on the magical display. 1. Lin Moyu total points 1605, 2 Zhuo Mei total points 473, Zia Zhu 270 points, 4 Wang Zihao 265 points. Wang Zihao jumped up shouting, "This is impossible. How could his score be this high?" The math was staggering. To reach that score, Lin Moyu had to have killed over 300 monsters, nearly reaching the theoretical limit of the spawn rate. As the realization sank in, the same thought echoed through the arena: Lin Moyu was a monster. Wang Zihao felt certain that Lin Moyu had cheated, but he kept the thought to himself. To voice such an accusation would be to offend the entire top brass of the Shangxia Empire. Cheating in the grand exam was impossible under such total surveillance. It was simply courting death. Outside the venue, Principal Lu Yun jumped to his feet, his face flushed red. His hands trembled so violently that water spilled from his cup. "Old Lu, this student of yours is a freak," one of the observers remarked. "Indeed, a total freak," another added. Lu Yun wanted to snap back at them, but he was too preoccupied with Lin Moyu's score. No one in his memory had ever achieved this. Even the legendary Su Kaingsing had only scored 700 points in the second round, and Lin Mohan had earned 650. Lin Moyu's score was higher than both combined. Inside the trial tower, rays of light bathed the examinees, instantly restoring their mental strength and erasing their fatigue. "Next, we proceed to the third round," the examiner announced. "This round tests individual limit combat ability. You will face a boss-level monster one-on-one without support. Normal difficulty is 100 points, Nightmare is 300, and Hell is 500. Lin Moyu didn't hesitate. "I choose Hell difficulty," the examiners began to whisper. As expected, with those summons, he'll take first place again. He's practically guaranteed to be the Jiangning province top scholar. "It's hard to say," another cautioned. "There are still 2 rounds left. The 5th round often sees comebacks." Wang Zihao stared at the rankings. The gap between him and Lin Moyu had reached over 1,300 points. His dreams of being the top scholar were slipping away. "First place is mine," he muttered viciously, gripping his weapon. "I won't lose. After this, I'll make you pay." He too chose Hell difficulty. Zia Zhu and Zhuo Mei followed suit, confident in their burst damage and control abilities. A huge monster materialized, a level 15 wolf beastman captain. It held a sword in each hand, its stats showing immense strength and constitution. Lin Moyu looked at the data and felt bored. To him, this Hell difficulty felt weakened compared to a true Hell-level dungeon. It was designed to select talent, not kill students. Lin Moyu gave a casual order. 2 skeleton warriors rushed forward, their blades glowing with the Berserk Strike skill. With 2 synchronized hits, the boss fell dead. It was another one-shot victory. The examiners were stunned. Another one-shot? The summons can use skills. If he keeps this up, how are others supposed to play? One complained. While Lin Moyu stood perfectly still, the other top candidates were struggling. Zia Zhu was forced to dodge and weave while casting, and Wang Zihao was locked in a bloody hand-to-hand struggle. Only Zhuo Mei fared better, using her agility to circle the beast. "He's qualified to solo any nightmare dungeon below level 20, an examiner noted. "We haven't even seen his true limit yet." Ning Xuanfeng, who had been watching silently, finally spoke. "Wait for the 5th round. That is where we will see what he is truly capable of." The 3rd round ended within 10 minutes. Only 120 people remained. The rankings flashed. Lin Moyu held a massive lead with 2105 points, followed by Zhuo Mei at 970, Zia Zhu at 770, and Wang Zihao at 765. Lin Moyu noticed his friend Gao Yang had made it to 67th place. "The 4th round will now begin," the examiner's voice boomed. "The danger will rise. You may choose to withdraw now and keep your current scores, which are enough for top institutions." No one backed down. A white light restored everyone to peak condition, resetting all skill cooldowns. "The rules for the 4th round: you will face 10 waves of monsters. Each wave has 10 creatures, including warriors and mages. The interval is only 1 minute. If you clear all waves, your points will double to 2,000. The examiners smiled, watching Lin Moyu. The best way to deal with a summoner is to bypass the summons and hit the summoner himself. "Let's see him handle a crowd." Ning Xuanfeng remained confident. "I don't think this will stump him." As the first wave of wolf orcs appeared, a 3rd skeleton warrior emerged from the shadows beside Lin Moyu. The 3 skeletons intercepted the monsters, killing them instantly with every swing. Lin Moyu flicked his wrist, sending a spark of fire into the backline to incinerate the enemy mage. The entire wave was annihilated in 3 seconds. How does he have a third summon? An examiner shouted. Why was he hiding it until now? Ning Xuanfeng simply smiled. As expected, Lin Moyu curled his lips unconsciously. Was this the so-called major exam? It was too unchallenging, lacking even the excitement of his first time in the West Sea Mine dungeon. Feeling bored, he took out a sweet potato and started eating it slowly. In the observation room, the examiners grew restless. Forget it, I'm not watching. Watching this kid is completely boring, one complained. On Lin Moyu's screen, monsters were resolved in 3 seconds at most. The other candidates were far more interesting to watch. Xia Zhu retreated continuously, her flame path skill leaving a trail of fire beneath her feet that scorched the pursuing wolf orcs. She combined this with ice rain, slowing her enemies while clearing them out with efficient AoE attacks. Zhu Mei, an assassin, had a harder time. Lacking AoE skills, she was forced to eliminate the orcs one by one with burst power and crowd control. Meanwhile, Wang Zihao maintained a heavy-hitting style, his huge two-handed sword whistling through the air. Only Lin Moyu's side remained dull. He spent far more time spacing out than fighting. No need to watch, an examiner noted. He'll take first place in the 4th round again. It just depends on whether he dares to participate in the 5th. As the 4th round progressed, monsters spawned in batches of 10 every minute. Many candidates were overwhelmed and teleported out of the tower, relieved to have survived the terrifying encirclement. Gao Yang reached his limit during the 5th batch. Upon exiting, he overheard people discussing Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu is my boss, of course he's strong, Gao Yang boasted. When asked who he was, he announced loudly, surname Gao, given name Yang from Zihai No. One high school, he began telling stories of how Lin Moyu had cleared a nightmare-level dungeon in 10 minutes. Most listeners dismissed it as bragging, but Gao Yang didn't care, he just enjoyed the spotlight. Back in the control room, only 5 screens remained. Lin Moyu, Xia Zhu, Zhu Mei, Wang Zihao, and a newcomer, Feng Xiu. Feng Xiu, a level 15 holy swordsman, moved with the agility of an assassin. His strikes seemed light, but the beastmen fell steadily under his blade. The examiners recognized him as a member of the Feng family, a sword cultivation clan. He had been pacing himself, knowing the final rounds were the key to scoring. Wang Zihao finally reached his limit and activated Berserk. His strength and constitution surged by 500%, though his agility plummeted. For 5 minutes, he became a whirlwind of destruction, clearing the field of over 40 monsters with massive sweeps of his blade. When the last batch of monsters spawned, the mages were replaced by a boss-level monster. To Lin Moyu, it made no difference. His skeleton warriors rushed forward, smashing the creature into silence. The 4th round ended, and 10 minutes later, the results were broadcast throughout the venue. The 4th round of the exam has ended, the examiner's voice boomed. 120 people participated and 5 people passed. The rankings appeared: 1. Lin Moyu, 3605 points. 2. Zhu Mei, 2470 points. 3. Xia Zhu, 2270 points. 4. Wang Zihao, 2265 points. 5. Feng Xiu, 2200 points. A restorative light shone on the 5 survivors, healing them and resetting their cooldowns, including Wang Zihao's weakened state. Everything is within expectations. Wang Zihao grinned, gripping his sword. Xia Zhu and Zhu Mei both set their sights on the prestigious Xiajing Academy. The examiner's voice returned, stern and demanding. I know you all want to apply to Xiajing Academy, but it is not that easy to get into. If your performance isn't excellent enough, you will still be eliminated. Let your points do the talking. Get 10,000 points and I guarantee you will get in. He explained the rules for the 5th round, the battle space. They would be sent to individual dimensions where monsters of every type, warrior, mage, archer, and knight, would spawn endlessly. The difficulty would ramp up from ordinary mobs to bosses. The faster they killed, the faster the difficulty would increase, requiring a careful rhythm. Points would double with every level increase of the monsters, reaching 800 points per kill by the 5th stage. Lin Moyu realized his blade could vanish if he failed here, but he understood the purpose: to find geniuses who could carry the burden of the human race. As the countdown ended, the 5 were teleported into the battle space. In the control room, the visual feeds went dark. The examiners groaned in disappointment. Sigh, this lousy rule, even we aren't allowed to watch. Our clearance only allows us to see the score changes, another added. They turned to Ning Xuanfeng. Lord Ning, can you watch it? Ning Xuanfeng looked at them indifferently. I cannot watch it either. The examiners were shocked. Even you cannot watch it. Then what kind of person is required to view it? Ning Xuanfeng nodded solemnly. Within the Shangxia Empire, no more than 10 people have the authority to view the video of the 5th round of the grand exam. The examiners were struck with awe. They realized the gravity of the situation. If only 10 people in the entire empire held such clearance, the events unfolding were beyond their station. Anyway, remember this is not something you should be asking about, Ning Xuanfeng continued, his mood uncharacteristically light. I'm only telling you a few extra words today because I'm in a good mood. Understood, the examiners chimed in quickly, their curiosity replaced by a healthy dose of fear. The battle space was a grim, blood-scented expanse littered with massive rocks. Lin Moyu's nose twitched as he stepped onto the pitch-black earth. The smell of blood is strong, and it is filled with death energy, he murmured. As a necromancer, he could feel the remnants of a massive, ancient slaughter that had soaked into the very soil. Footsteps echoed in the distance as a squad of monsters emerged from the gloom. 10 feline orc warriors, tall as giant lizards and dragging long tails, roared and charged from 60 meters away. Lin Moyu cast a detection spell, but it returned only basic information, level 15. As more squads appeared, threatening to encircle him, Lin Moyu remained unfazed. He didn't need to retreat or maneuver like other professionals. 3 skeleton warriors stepped forward, meeting the charge with cold steel. Their blades fell, but to Lin Moyu's surprise, the orcs survived the first strike. Didn't manage to one-shot them, he noted, observing their high constitution but mediocre strength. He adjusted his strategy. If 1 slash wasn't enough, then 2 would do. A feline orc fell screaming, and Lin Moyu's points jumped from 3605 to 3655. Lin Moyu has made a move, an examiner noted. He killed 1 very fast. Suddenly, the points surged from 3655 to 4105. The examiners looked at each other in confusion, unable to see the carnage but feeling the weight of the sudden spike. The skeleton warrior had secured the first kill, and Lin Moyu immediately followed up with corpse explosion. The resulting blast obliterated the entire squad, adding 500 points to his score. He waited for the next wave to reach the remaining corpses, but the bodies sank into the black earth and vanished within 10 seconds. It seems the plan needs to be slightly adjusted, Lin Moyu said. He summoned 9 more skeleton warriors, sending 1 to intercept each approaching squad. The skeletons acted as lures, dragging nearly 100 feline orcs into a tight cluster. Once gathered, the skeletons executed a single orc, and Lin Moyu unleashed a chain of corpse explosions. The earth shook as the entire horde was wiped out in seconds. His points skyrocketed to 8605. What exactly did he do? An examiner shouted. His points increased by 5,000 in an instant. The first batch of 100 monsters has been wiped out, another added, stunned. They compared his progress to Zia Zhu, whose points rose in steady increments of 50 or 100. Lin Moyu's jumps were incomprehensible. Ning Xuanfeng's eyelids twitched. Even with his vast experience, he couldn't fathom the limit of a necromancer's power. He watched the data, frustrated by his own lack of clearance to see the actual battle. Lin Moyu waited for the next wave. Suddenly, a sense of crisis gripped him. The sky turned bright red and dozens of meter-wide fireballs crashed down like meteors. Shield, Lin Moyu commanded. His skeleton warriors stacked themselves like a defensive wall, absorbing the impact. Sparks flew as the fireballs shattered against their high defense frames. Lin Moyu knew his own constitution was his weak point. He relied on his damage transfer skill and the skeleton's durability to survive the onslaught. From the shadows, a group of feline orc mages appeared, waving wands to maintain the fire rain, while a fresh wave of orc warriors initiated a charge. Lin Moyu smiled. Who cares how they appeared? It's fine as long as I don't have to wait. He kept 10 skeletons as a shield and sent another 10 to counterattack. Skill, he commanded. The skeletons' hands glowed with red light as they activated Berserk Strike. With their strength doubled to 10,000, they tore through the orc warriors like scythes through wheat. Lin Moyu triggered Corpse Explosion again, clearing the field of warriors before sending his skeletons after the mages. The summons moved like afterimages, crossing the distance in a heartbeat and silencing the casters. The fire rain ceased and silence returned to the plain. Lin Moyu's points stalled for a moment before soaring to 14,605. He killed another 120 monsters in less than 10 seconds. This profession is going to defy the heavens, one examiner whispered. His area of effect skills are just as freakish as his summons. I feel this profession has already surpassed the legendary grade, another suggested, though some remained skeptical, noting that strength at a low level didn't always guarantee greatness at the peak. Strength at a low level does not always dictate potential at a high level. Some professions remain mediocre until they acquire a god-tier skill, becoming irreplaceable assets in times of war. Lin Moyu, a necromancer whose skills were designed for legion-scale combat, stood amidst a sudden tremor. The ground shook violently, swallowing the corpses of his fallen enemies. Invisible gases rose from the earth, carrying a nauseating stench of decay as the sky turned an oppressive, dark hue. It's the second stage, Lin Moyu noted, looking at the sky. The aura of death didn't bother him, though the thickening stench was unpleasant. He commanded his skeleton warriors to form a defensive circle around him. Footsteps echoed across the trembling earth. From all directions, squads of monsters emerged. Each group consisted of 3 feline orc fighters and 2 feline orc archers, all level 16. With at least 40 squads surrounding him, the quantity of monsters had doubled since the first stage. Lin Moyu remained calm. Even without his more explosive skills, his 20 skeleton warriors were more than a match for these foes. He considered the difficulty. For most professionals, this stage would be a wall. The level increase and the presence of archers, the natural enemies of mages, would force many to retreat. In the history of the Shangxia Empire's Grand Examination, few had ever passed the second stage. The record for the third stage had stood unbroken for over 100 years. The examiners of Jiangning Province watched Lin Moyu's progress with bated breath. I think he has a chance, one examiner remarked. His skills aren't just powerful, they're freakish. I suspect he's awakened a talent. If he awakened a talent right after his profession change, he's a rare blessing, another added. They watched as Lin Moyu's points stagnated and then rocketed upward. Back in the battle space, Lin Moyu employed a practice tactic. His skeleton warriors lured the feline orcs into a dense cluster, drawing their fire. Once the monsters were gathered, the skeletons struck, creating the first few corpses. Lin Moyu then unleashed Corpse Explosion. In a series of violent bursts, the entire field was cleared. His points jumped by 20,000 in an instant, bringing his total to 34,605. The examiners marveled at the gap between Lin Moyu and the other top candidates. Xia Zhu, an elemental mage, held second place with 7,000 points. Feng Ziu, a holy swordsman, followed with 6,000. Zhu Mei and Wang Zihao trailed further behind, though both were confident they would reach the 10,000-point threshold required for Xiajing Academy. In the capital, the main body of the trial tower appeared in the sky, a signal of the nationwide exam. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. The sky turned pitch black as an evil radiance descended toward the tower. Audacious, a deafening voice roared through the city. A giant virtual hand manifested to intercept the light, but a sinister laugh echoed from the darkness. A massive demon head with sharp fangs and horns appeared, clashing with the golden light of the city's defenses. Though the giant hand eventually crushed the demon head to dust, the entity's final words were chilling. This is just a clone, but the little one's in your trial tower. Tusk tusk. Inside the tower, the rules of the space were being forcibly rewritten by abyssal power. 3 powerful figures appeared near the tower's core, realizing the gravity of the situation. The Abyss had launched a sneak attack targeting the Empire's future geniuses. Inside the battle space, the monsters suddenly vanished. The air grew heavy and wisps of black energy seeped from the ground. Lin Moyu immediately pulled his skeleton warriors close. In the shifting landscape, he spotted a familiar figure. Lin the dork, Xia Zhu called out, approaching him. She looked as bewildered as he felt. The skeleton warriors parted to let her in. Do you know what happened? Lin Moyu shook his head, indicating he didn't know why the monsters had vanished. Around them, rays of light pierced the darkness as over 100 candidates from across the provinces appeared in the space. Suddenly, a voice boomed through the void. Children, I am Bai Yiyuan. Gasps erupted. The examinees widened their eyes in shock. Bai Yiyuan, revered as God Bai, was a top-tier powerhouse of the Shangxia Empire. His voice didn't just fill the battle space, it echoed in every examination hall across the country. Abyssal demons from the Abyss world have invaded the battle space, Bai Yiyuan announced. We are currently repairing the rules, which will take approximately 1 hour. The demons are targeting you. Over the next hour, you must protect yourselves. I believe that as long as we stand united, the invading forces will be unable to do anything to you. My Shangxia Empire citizens do not fear war, nor do they fear death. The words sparked a powerful resonance. The young examinees, full of vigor, began to shout in unison, "Do not fear war, do not fear death." Xia Zhu felt the urge to join in, but seeing Lin Moyu remain silent, she lowered her hand. While Lin Moyu didn't shout, a look of excitement flickered in his eyes. He wouldn't waste breath on slogans, but he wouldn't hesitate to kill. As the examinees gathered, Xia Zhu whispered, "It said the weakest monsters in the Abyss are level 70 elites." "I believe in God Bai," Lin Moyu said calmly. He noted the distinction. They weren't fighting the Abyss itself, but an invading force. If a true level 70 monster entered, they would already be dead. Ning Xuanfeng's gaze darkened. To think something like this would happen. The examiners around him were panicking, realizing the Abyss was targeting the Empire's future geniuses. "This is an attempt to cut off our roots," one muttered. "Everyone be quiet," Ning Xuanfeng commanded, his gaze sweeping over them like a blade. "Tell the people outside not to panic. Believe in God Bai." A blood-red moon appeared in the sky, spilling snow-like light over the land. The scent of blood thickened. The examinees quickly formed a battle formation, with knights at the front followed by mages and archers. "Tusk, tusk, tusk, it's a pity you are all going to die," a cold, sinister voice hissed through the air. "1 hour is enough to slaughter you all." Xia Zhu paled, inching closer to Lin Moyu. Then, a massive figure emerged under the moonlight. A detection spell revealed its identity: Feline Beastman Warrior, level 19, Abyssal Corruption. "The battle space has a level 19 restriction," someone shouted, relief momentarily washing over the crowd. But the relief vanished as 100 more figures appeared, each a 3-meter-tall, corrupted monster exuding a terrifying aura. "They are at least enhanced elite monsters," Lin Moyu observed solemnly, "troublesome but manageable." A faint arc appeared at the corner of his mouth. He wondered if these mutated creatures would provide experience points. The demonic voice mocked them again. "Shall we have a tournament? 1-on-1, the winner lives, the loser dies." Ha 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 ha! As the monsters closed in, the examinees' morale wavered. Many began to retreat, their legs weak with fear. Wang Zihao trembled, backing away, but others like Feng Xiu and Zhu Mei stood their ground. Lin Moyu didn't hesitate. With a series of dry cracks, his skeleton warriors summoned forth and charged. Lin Moyu followed behind them. "What are you doing? Come back." Xia Zhu cried out, stomping her foot before following him. "Go back," Lin Moyu commanded. "I don't want to," she countered. "Suit yourself," he replied. The crowd watched in awe as Lin Moyu advanced. Detection spells landed on him, revealing his status. Lin Moyu, level 16, Necromancer. "Necromancer? I've never heard of that class," voices whispered. Inspired by his lead, a dozen others, including Feng Xiu and Zhu Mei, charged forward with him, determined to fight to the death. The abyssal demon sneered from the shadows. "Oh, finally someone has come to throw their life away. You've got guts, that's worthy of praise. Your courage is commendable. I'm actually a bit reluctant to kill you. How about you come to the abyss and become my servant?" Lin Moyu ignored the demon's taunts. When he reached a distance of 50 meters from the monsters, he stopped. "Have you figured it out?" The abyssal demon's voice rang out again. "The gate of the abyss is always open for you." Lin Moyu's eyes carried a faint smile. The maximum range of his corpse explosion was 100 meters. 50 meters was the perfect median distance for safety and efficiency. Xia Zhu came to his side, silent and trusting in his plan. Feng Xiu, Zhu Mei, and others arrived shortly after, their faces etched with confusion. "Why aren't you advancing?" Zhu Mei asked. "Here, this is enough," Lin Moyu said in a low voice, pointing his finger forward. 100 skeleton warriors appeared simultaneously, forming a bone-white army. They charged toward the felon orc warriors like lightning. Zhu Mei, a prowler excelling in agility, realized with a shock that her full burst speed was far inferior to the skeletons. "Oh, so many summoned creatures," the demon mocked. These bones can be taken back to feed the guard dogs. The skeletons reached the orcs in an instant. Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and the great swords in the skeleton's hands emitted a dazzling red light. A dozen warriors focused their skills on a single felon orc, heavily injuring it instantly. Though the orcs were empowered by the abyss, they couldn't withstand the onslaught. Lin Moyu gauged the enemy's strength as his skeletons took minor damage. Their strength was around 3,000, their constitution over 3,500. The higher the constitution, the better, Lin Moyu noted. Within seconds, the first felon orc fell. A light shimmered in Lin Moyu's palm, an earth-shattering explosion followed, then another. The powerful felon orc warriors were falling like wheat. After a dozen blasts, the field was cleared. "That's it, they're all wiped out," someone gasped. The survivors trembled with excitement, realizing they were saved. Wang Zihao muttered bitterly, "How can he be this strong? It's unfair." The abyssal demon's voice turned frantic. "Impossible, you have angered this demon king. I will kill you and eat your flesh." The crimson moonlight burst into radiance, and another wave of monsters appeared from all directions, targeting the scattered professionals. The abyssal demon's voice sounded weaker, its power was depleting. Lin Moyu looked up at the red moon and spotted a black shadow. "So you are there," he whispered. He calculated the distance at 200 meters. On his command, several skeletons hurled the corpse of a felon orc toward the moon. Another skeleton grabbed Lin Moyu, and a warrior threw them both upward. "You lunatic." "What are you doing?" the demon screamed. Lin Moyu stared coldly. As the corpse neared the black shadow, he detonated it. The explosion rocked the sky. The demon screamed in agony but survived. "I will kill you," it shrieked. Lin Moyu's palm shone again with soul fire, dealing direct damage to the demon's soul. The shadow screamed as the flames took hold. "What kind of skill is this? Such a class cannot exist." Meng Anwen, working to repair the rules of the battle space, let out a sound of surprise. "What's wrong?" Bai Yiyuan asked. "The interference from the abyssal power has weakened significantly," Meng Anwen replied. "Could it be that all the examinees are dead?" Bai Yiyuan's face paled. "No, I feel many human life auras," Meng Anwen said. "The abyssal demon's consciousness is injured." Bai Yiyuan was stunned. It was impossible for level 15 students to wound a demonic consciousness. Inside the space, the felon orcs abandoned all other targets to rush Lin Moyu. The black shadow on the moon roared in a blind rage, losing all reason. Lin Moyu's skeletons formed a defensive line, their attributes far exceeding the elite monsters. As Lin Moyu detonated another corpse, he noticed his skill had leveled up. Corpse Explosion was now level 2, with increased range and damage. Combined with his comprehensive amplification talent, the radius was now 40 meters, dealing 300% of the corpse's HP as damage. The rumbling continued until no orcs remained standing. A faint white light covered Lin Moyu as he leveled up. The other examinees watched in awe, realizing he was using the abyssal monsters as mere experience points. Lin Moyu looked back up at the blood moon. The shadow was still there. "It seems he can't leave," he noted. With a thought, he prepared 5 more corpses to be launched into the sky. Immediately after, the skeleton warrior grabbed Lin Moyu and leaped into the air. The dark figure within the blood moon seemed to realize its doom was imminent. Surprisingly, it did not scream. Instead, it let out a cold, sinister laugh. "Your name is Lin Moyu," the figure hissed. "This king will remember you. When you come to the abyss, this king will host you properly." Lin Moyu gave a faint smile and said nothing. He commanded a corpse to fly toward the blood moon. With a mental command, he triggered Corpse Explosion. Amidst the violent blast, the dark figure let out a final scream before being annihilated. The blood moon shattered like glass, and the battle space began to return to normal. In the observation area, Meng Anwen showed a look of surprise. "The abyssal will has been eliminated. The battle space has returned to normal, and the children are safe." Bai Yiyuan wore an expression of disbelief. At his level, very little could still surprise him. "Can we perform a playback?" he asked, wanting to know exactly how the tide had turned. "We can," Meng Anwen replied. "There's no rush for that," Bai Yiyuan said in a deep voice. "Send the children back first, just in case." As the land returned to normal, Zia Zhu asked in a low voice, "Lin the Blockhead, is it over?" Her face was still pale with lingering fear. If not for Lin Moyu, she knew she would be dead. Lin Moyu nodded. "It's over." The other examinees were still shaken, having fled in panic from the fill-in orcs earlier. God Bai's voice rang out across the dimension. Examinees, the abyssal power has vanished. You will be sent back to your original examination halls. The results will be announced shortly. Lin Moyu appeared at the entrance alongside Xia Zhu, Zhu Mei, Wang Zihao, and Feng Xiu. The trial tower doors groaned shut behind them. The combat class grand exam has concluded, the examiner's voice resounded. Please rest in place and wait for the final point evaluation. The examinees waited with bated breath. For top-tier academies like Xiaojing Academy, the requirements were strict, level 15, over 10,000 points, and an excellent evaluation. While the provincial examiners graded most students, those who had entered the battle space were evaluated by the high-level officials of the Shangxia Empire. Meng Anwen, Bai Yiyuan, and other top powerhouses watched the playback of Lin Moyu's performance, so it was him who turned the tide. Remarkable, one remarked. Necromancer, the brand new class from Jiangning province, another added. He must have a powerful talent. His temperament is excellent, calm, and decisive. He has the conditions to become a top powerhouse. The officials compared the examinees. While Lin Moyu was a dazzling star, many others had fled in cowardice. This year's evaluations are difficult, one side. Those who ran are cowards, but they are just teenagers. Lin Moyu is definitely excellent, they agreed. Let's discuss the others. The final results appeared. At the very top, the screen read, *1, Lin Moyu points 34,605, evaluation, excellent. The field broke into an uproar. Principal Lu Yun jumped up, his face so excited he looked like he was about to have a stroke. First, the top scorer. His fingers trembled as fellow principals offered their congratulations, noting that West C No. 1 Middle School would now be famous. Xia Zhu smiled at Lin Moyu. Lin the blockhead, you really did it. Lin Moyu smiled slightly. Thank you, you actually know how to smile, Xia Zhu teased, looking as if she had discovered a new continent. The rankings continued. Xia Zhu took second with 7,600 points and an excellent evaluation. Feng Xiu and Zhu Mei followed in third and fourth. However, when the fifth name appeared, Wang Zihao points 6,300, evaluation, poor, the boy's face turned ashen. Why, Wang Zihao roared, on what basis am I given a poor? This is unfair. Suddenly a beam of light fell upon him and he vanished. The examiner's voice was cold. Wang Zihao has violated the exam rules and is expelled. With his expulsion, Wang Zihao's future was effectively destroyed. The rankings continued, with Gao Yang placing 61st. Finally, the examiner's voice rang out with a final, solemn announcement. Combat class, this year's provincial top scorer of Jiangning province, Lin Moyu. Thunderous applause followed, but the examiner wasn't finished. An order has come from the empire. Lin Moyu is the national top scorer of this year's exam. Principal Lu Yun jumped up again, a burst of literal flames erupting from his head in his excitement. National top scorer, he stammered, unable to believe his ears. Old Lu, take care of your health. The other principals laughed, though they were green with envy. West C No, your school can be renamed Top Scorer Middle School now. Outside the trial tower, the applause was like thunder. A national top scorer. Our Jiangning province has produced a national top scorer. Heavens, how many years has it been since Jiangning province had a national top scorer? Lin Moyu is too incredible to actually become the national top scorer. Lin Moyu remained indifferent and calm. When he was named provincial top scorer, he had already realized that the national title might also fall to him. Xia Zhu said in surprise, you've become the national top scorer, why aren't you happy? I am happy, Lin Moyu said flatly. Xia Zhu curled her lip. You're so happy you don't even know how to smile. I smiled in my heart, Lin Moyu replied. A dunce is a dunce, Xia Zhu huffed. But still, congratulations, top scorer Lin. Zhu Mei and Feng Xiu approached him together. Zhu Mei was petite, her voice slightly cool, displaying a temperament in line with her class. Feng Xiu reached out his hand. Thanks for this time. If it weren't for you, we would have been in big trouble. Zhu Mei followed with her thanks and Lin Moyu shook his hand. It was only right. You'll be applying for Xiaojing Academy, right? Feng Xiu asked. Lin Moyu nodded. Good, then I'll see you at Xiaojing Academy. I'll treat you to a meal then, Lin Moyu responded. The atmosphere became awkward due to Lin Moyu's coldness. Xia Zhu quickly laughed. This guy doesn't like to talk. I've been his classmate for 3 years and our total words spoken haven't exceeded 10 sentences. Lin Moyu shook his head. 16 sentences. Both Fengxiu and Zhuomei laughed out loud. Aside from his silence, Lin Moyu seemed quite interesting. The exam ended and they were teleported back to the school. Principal Lu Yun did not return with them as he had to remain for the support class exams. Lin Moyu returned home to rest. His goal was Xiajing Academy, and as the national top scorer, his admission was certain. He silently summoned 4 skeleton warriors and stored them in his summoning space, bringing the total to 104. The warriors injured during the battle with the felon orcs recovered rapidly in the space. A knock at the door pulled Lin Moyu out of his meditation. He found Principal Lu Yun, whose excitement had not yet faded, standing with a stranger. The newcomer brought a terrifying aura that made it difficult for Lin Moyu to breathe. Instinctively, Lin Moyu summoned his skeleton warriors to shield him. A very good reaction. Recognizing the voice, Lin Moyu relaxed and withdrew his summons. He bowed respectfully. "Greetings, Lord God Bai." Bai Yiyuan revealed himself from the darkness, laughing. "How did you know it was me?" "I recognize your voice," Lin Moyu answered. Bai Yiyuan was satisfied. He had seen Lin Moyu's performance in the battle space, and meeting him face-to-face confirmed his composure. "Very good. I've come to talk to you about Xiajing Academy." Lin Moyu poured plain water for his guests. Principal Lu Yun explained that Moyu lived alone since his sister, Lin Mohan, had gone to Xiajing Academy the previous year. Bai Yiyuan noted the name, praising the siblings for both reaching the prestigious academy. "Can you summon your creature for me to see?" Bai Yiyuan asked. A skeleton warrior appeared. Bai Yiyuan noted its 4-dimensional attributes were 250, appearing ordinary. He realized Lin Moyu's talent bonus was hidden from detection. "What talent did you awaken?" "My talent is amplification. It amplifies all skills," Lin Moyu said softly. "As I thought," Bai Yiyuan said. "I've come for 2 things. First, to give you your reward. Second, to take you to the academy for a trial the day after tomorrow." Lin Moyu asked about the trial. Bai Yiyuan explained it was an internal trial for academy students and a rare opportunity he was personally offering. Lin Moyu pondered the secrecy and the invitation. Sensing the importance, he decided, "I'll participate. In that case, let me give you the rewards first." Bai Yiyuan produced several items. First is 100,000 points for being the national top scorer. Combined with your exam points, you have over 130,000. Points are more useful than gold in the academy. He handed Lin Moyu a card and continued. Second, 1 low-level skill scroll and 1 intermediate skill scroll. Third, an additional reward for your performance, 1 entry qualification for the Shangxia Tower. It is extremely precious. Be fully prepared before using it. "I understand," Lin Moyu replied. Lin Moyu packed his things. An amulet transformed into a teleportation array, and he and Bai Yiyuan stepped inside. Principal Lu Yun watched them vanish, hoping for the boys' success. The journey was long. Unlike short-distance stones, this transit across thousands of kilometers involved bizarre, fantastical images and a sense of distorted time. Lin Moyu felt light-headed and pale, but he remained steady. After several seconds, his feet hit solid ground. Very impressive tolerance. Bai Yiyuan's estimation of Lin Moyu grew as they arrived at the capital. Unlike West Sea City, Xiajing City remained brilliantly lit at night, making the moonlight fade into the background. Before them stood the gate of Xiajing Academy, a structure so massive and powerful that Lin Moyu felt a sense of deadly danger emanating from it. "This gate is both an entrance and a weapon," Bai Yiyuan explained. "Even top-tier experts would pay a price trying to break in." He patted Lin Moyu's shoulder. "Let's go." As they approached, a detection-like aura verified Lin Moyu's identity, and the gate opened silently. Inside, the academy was alive with energy. Wave after wave of fluctuations pulsed through the air. "This is the students practicing their skills," Bai Yiyuan said. "Do all skills need to be practiced?" Lin Moyu asked. "Aside from class talent skills and some specials, most must be leveled up through practice," Bai Yiyuan replied. He smiled when Lin Moyu asked if usage alone was enough. "It's hard to say. Every skill is different. You'll learn the details from the instructors once you officially enter." Lin Moyu watched bursts of light illuminate the sky, impressed by the dedication of the students. He thought of his own skills and realized they weren't quite as convenient to practice in such a setting. After a long walk, they reached the residential area. "You'll stay here tonight," Bai Yiyuan said. "Keep in mind, At Zyajing Academy, almost everything can be traded provided there is mutual consent. A man ran toward them and bowed respectfully. Greetings, Lord God Bai. I'll leave him to you, Bai Yiyuan told the man before turning to Lin Moyu. Get some rest, someone will guide you tomorrow. Okay, Lin Moyu replied flatly. The administrator looked shocked by the boy's cold tone toward a legend like Bai Yiyuan, but the god merely nodded and vanished into the night. The man introduced himself as Jiang Tao, a student administrator. He explained the housing options: quad, double, and single dorms or expensive detached villas. While gold coins could be used, the prices were exorbitant compared to academy points. Points are the most important currency here, Jiang Tao warned. You can exchange points for gold, but never the other way around. Save them whenever you can. Despite the advice, Lin Moyu chose a single dorm for 2,000 points a month. When Jiang Tao processed the payment, his eyes nearly popped out. The machine displayed Lin Moyu's balance, over 130,000 points. How do you have so many? Jiang Tao gasped. From the rewards, Lin Moyu said simply. You really are rich, Jiang Tao muttered, handing back the ID. Room 201 is yours. Oh, and ask about your relative Lin Mohan at the Academic Affairs office tomorrow. Also, by a communicator. The next morning, a knock at the door revealed Ning Yi. Don't recognize me anymore, she teased. Lin Moyu smiled. I recognize you. She dragged him to the cafeteria and piled up a mountain of food. When Lin Moyu swiped his card to pay the 5-point cost, Ning Yi scolded him. You should never use points where gold coins are accepted. Points are too hard to earn. I don't have any gold coins, Lin Moyu admitted. Then just ask me. I have plenty, she insisted. Lin Moyu planned to sell his spare materials later to rectify his lack of gold. He reached into his palm and produced a glowing gemstone. For you, he said, handing her the Goblin King's core. Wow, it's so beautiful, Ning Yi whispered, recognizing the extraordinary item immediately. Upon touching the object, waves of warmth swept over Lin Moyu, dispelling the cold. A detection spell stirred a light breeze as Ning Yi's eyes lit up with joy. Is this the Goblin King's core? Lin Moyu nodded. He watched as she admired the ruby-like core. Do you know how much this is worth? She asked. Lin Moyu shook his head. He recalled a quest valuing it at 100,000 gold coins, while an acquaintance had estimated 500,000. However, the interest shown by the Dynasty Guild suggested it was worth far more. This is the core item for the Goblin King's ring, a boss accessory, Ning Yi explained carefully. It's worth tens of millions. If you traded this, the price should be around 10 million. Lin Moyu clicked his tongue. The Dynasty Guild had been trying to deceive him with their low offer. To Ning Yi, however, such a sum seemed trivial. She had previously gifted him an intermediate skill scroll of similar value. She accepted the core with a smile. Thanks, it's good that you accepted it, Lin Moyu replied. After eating, Ning Yi showed him around. She explained the difference between the Imperial Exchange, which used gold, and the Academy Exchange, which used points. Points were the lifeblood of the school, required for everything from skill training grounds to accessing advanced materials in the Zyajing Library. At the Academic Affairs office, Lin Moyu completed his enrollment. Thanks to his connection with Bai Yiyuan, the staff were exceptionally polite. He took the opportunity to inquire about his sister, Lin Mohan. The records showed she had enrolled, but her current data was completely blank. Concern clouded Lin Moyu's eyes as they stepped outside. Lin Mohan is your sister? Ning Yi asked softly. Yes, he replied. It's normal for data to be blank, Ning Yi comforted him. She might be on a confidential mission, or she may have joined one of the independent colleges like Chuangshan or Shenlong Academy. If she's in one of those, her data wouldn't show up here. Don't worry, Lin Moyu felt slightly more at ease. He hadn't heard from her in 3 months, but since he was now at the academy, he knew he would find her eventually. Let's go, Ning Yi giggled, her smile warming him like sunshine. Time for business. I have a mission to fulfill today. They entered the Hidden Dragon Academy, one of the many restricted colleges. A tall woman approached them. Yi is back. Sister Taozi, I've brought the person, Ning Yi said, introducing Lin Moyu as the national top scorer. Lin Moyu, this is Jiang Taotao, our team leader. Hello, my name is Jiang Taotao, level 23 Elf Knight, the woman said. Lin Moyu, level 17 Necromancer. The introduction was met with a scoff. A man holding a staff walked into the courtyard, radiating arrogance. Only level 17, we shouldn't just pick up any stray cat or dog. Ling Zhen, watch your mouth, Ning Yi snapped. Moyu is the national top scorer. Compared to us, a national top scorer is nothing, Ling Zhen retorted. He turned his gaze to Lin Moyu. Don't think you can do whatever you want just because you have a connection with God Bai. In the Qianlong team, we value strength. Don't drag us down or I'll be the first to deal with you. Brain damaged? Lin Moyu asked calmly. Ling Zhen's staff burst into flames. What did you say? Ning Yi and Jiang Taotao both stepped between them. Ling Zhen, stop, Jiang Taotao commanded. Ling Zhen withdrew his aura, glaring at Lin Moyu before walking away. Jiang Taotao sighed and turned to Lin Moyu. We leave tomorrow morning at 9:00. Meet here, we'll discuss the trial then. As they walked toward the exchange, Ning Yi told Lin Moyu not to mind the lunatic. If a dog bites a person can't bite the dog back, Lin Moyu remarked, making her laugh. At the exchange, Lin Moyu sold his loot from the West Sea mine. He bypassed the consignment process, selling directly to the recycling quest and the shop. He cleared 230,000 gold coins. You should buy some red and blue potions for the trial, Ning Yi suggested. Lin Moyu bought 10 primary health potions and 10 primary mental potions for 20,000 gold. He then spent another 200,000 on 2 primary skill scrolls, leaving his balance at 10,000 gold coins. Spending money was truly like water flowing away. Lin Moyu and Ning Yi arrived at the Academy Exchange and spent 100 points to purchase a communicator. The device, resembling a sleek wristwatch, was a staple for every student. After adding each other as friends, Ning Yi waved her pale hand with a grin. From now on, I can harass you anytime, anywhere. Watching her flutter about like a butterfly, Lin Moyu allowed a slight smile to touch his lips. According to Ning Yi, Lin Moyu had taken the trial spot originally intended for Ling Zhen's younger brother due to God Bai's intervention. This explained Ling Zhen's blatant hostility. While the specific details of the trial remained a mystery, Ning Yi knew it had strict level requirements. Lin Moyu didn't dwell on Ling Zhen, he viewed the man as a mere clown. He was confident that no professional under level 30 could best him. Back in his dormitory, Lin Moyu activated a primary skill scroll. A ball of light enveloped him, but after a few minutes it faded into nothing. He sighed, realizing he hadn't mastered a new skill. It was a common occurrence. As one's repertoire grew, the success rate of scrolls plummeted. Undeterred, he used his second scroll. This time his body heated up as a strange aura emerged. A notification appeared, skill acquired, slow curse. At level 1, the skill normally reduced enemy speed by 5% within a 5-meter radius. However, through Lin Moyu's talent amplification, the range expanded to 100 meters and the slowing effect surged to 100%, effectively crippling an enemy's movement and attack speed for 20 minutes. My skills are now divided into summoning, attack, and curse categories, Lin Moyu mused. He summoned 4 skeleton warriors to test his limits, then drank a primary mental potion to recover. He realized that while potions helped, the recovery rate for his massive 1,000-point mental strength pool was still slow. He settled into a meditative state to maximize his efficiency. The communicator chimed with a melody Ning Yi had set. Wake up, the sun is shining on your butt, her voice chirped through the speaker. I'm downstairs. Come down for breakfast before we leave. Lin Moyu met her and followed as she bought a month's worth of supplies. I don't know how long we'll be gone, she explained, and I'm not starving like last time. Lin Moyu paid the 10,000 gold coins, noting how quickly money vanished in the capital compared to his hometown. They met Jiang Taotao and the rest of the team. Jiang Taotao looked serious as she addressed the group. Once we teleport, don't wander off. Ling Zhen glared at Lin Moyu. Kid, don't hold us back. As long as you don't hold us back, it'll be fine, Ning Yi snapped back. Jiang Taotao sighed, demanding they put aside their conflicts for the trial. She called for introductions to coordinate their roles. Duan Gao introduced himself as a level 20 prophet and Miao Yu as a level 20 elf elder. Ling Zhen reluctantly identified as a level 21 warlock. Ning Yi followed as a level 19 shadow assassin and Lin Moyu as a level 17 necromancer. Jiang Taotao, the leader, was a level 23 elf knight. We must be united, Jiang Taotao warned. If anyone holds us back, don't blame me for being ruthless. Suddenly, a giant teleportation array formed in the sky, accompanied by the massive, heaven-reaching shadow of the Shangxia Tower. Light enveloped the academy and the students were pulled into the trial grounds. The teleportation lasted over 10 seconds, suggesting a vast distance. When Lin Moyu's feet hit the sand, he recognized the scent of the salt air immediately. Ningyi looked pale, clutching his arm. "My head is spinning," she complained. Jiang Taotao noticed Lin Moyu's lack of discomfort with surprise. Before them stood a massive light curtain enveloping the island, with monsters visible within. Floating quest stones appeared before each participant. Lin Moyu grasped his, and the details of the mission flooded his mind. They were on Mermaid Island, a place swarming with sea race monsters. Their goal was the Mermaid's Tier dungeon at the island's center. To succeed, they had to slay the final boss on Nightmare difficulty to obtain a Mermaid's Tier. Jiang Taotao finished reading the quest briefing, her voice heavy. "I didn't expect this trial quest to be Mermaid Island." As an experienced veteran of many trials, she knew the stakes. The Mermaid dungeon only drops 3 Mermaid Tiers a year. They are essential for crafting special equipment. Because the island isn't in Shangxia Empire territory, we'll be competing with professionals from other countries. Our entire Hidden Dragon Academy is mobilized. We are Team 2. What do we do if we run into them? Ningyi asked, glancing at Lin Moyu, mindful of his history. Will we have to kill people? The mention of killing made the group nervous, though Lin Moyu remained indifferent. Jiang Taotao shook her head. Usually it doesn't come to that. They mostly just guard the entrance, but don't let your guard down, deaths have happened. Duan Gao, buff us. Duan Gao began casting, and halos of light erupted around the team. Strength, agility, defense, and mana stimulation surged through them, boosting their attributes by 30%. Lin Moyu felt the power, but compared to his own talent, the prophet's magic felt secondary. Curious, Lin Moyu summoned a skeleton warrior. A chilling wind swept the beach as the undead creature appeared, its soul fire flickering and its blade gleaming. The sudden drop in temperature made Miao Yu scream and hide behind Taotao, while Duan Gao's hands trembled, breaking his spell. "Is this your summon?" Jiang Taotao asked, trying to remain calm. "Could you buff it too?" Lin Moyu asked Duan Gao. Duan Gao tried, but the golden light dissipated the moment it touched the skeleton. "My skills won't stick to it," he said, surprised. "It can't even receive buffs." "Useless," Ling Zhen snorted. Lin Moyu's gaze turned icy and the skeleton warrior's eyes flared red, sensing its master's irritation. The undead moved toward Ling Zhen, who gripped his staff as firelight flickered at the tip. Jiang Taotao stepped between them immediately. "If you want to fight, do it when we get back. Complete the trial first." Lin Moyu nodded and withdrew his gaze. A roar echoed in the sky, signaling the start of the trial. "Onto the island," Taotao commanded. The team stepped through the shimmering light screen, their average level of 20 granting them passage. The air on the island was thick with a fishy stench. "What an unpleasant place," Ningyi muttered, covering her nose. In the distance, a massive waterfall cascaded from a peak where the mermaid dungeon entrance swirled like an underwater whirlpool. "Move quickly," Jiang Taotao whispered. "Avoid unnecessary fights." They moved in single file along narrow paths between pools of water. Suddenly, a creature burst from the depths, a merman soldier with sharp fangs and scales. Jiang Taotao reacted instantly, using her taunt skill to draw its aggression. Lin Moyu cast a detection spell, noting the creature was level 19 with balanced stats but no special skills. Before the merman could strike, Taotao slammed into it with a shield charge, sending it tumbling. Ling Zhen followed up with a fireball that engulfed the monster in flames. As the merman struggled to rise, Ningyi flickered into existence behind it, her glowing dagger poised to strike.